I mean, it's 3 minutes before, so.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. We're 3 minutes early.
Yeah. Oh boy. There's people here for sure.
Well, where does this say count? How do we know how many people are in here?
Right there. Oh, sorry, y'all. Come the other way. 56. There's 56 of you. Hello. How's it going?
Hello, and sorry about last week about not being able to set this all up. They put a 24-hour hold on your videos before you can go live. So we didn't know that. Still learning YouTube, so there you go. So I guess there's already questions in here, so let's start answering them right away.
All right. So, oh, they were at the top. Okay, so David Clark says, curious about the period electrical. Is it still functional? It was hard to tell if the wires in the floor were insulated or just exposed wire.
I'm sure some of it, yeah, for sure is functional still. There's not necessarily anything particularly wrong with it. That stuff under the floor right at that one area was in pretty rough shape because the water had gotten to it. But the coat, like the sheeting and everything, or sheathing and everything, was still there. It was still good. It was still fine. So, but that being said, we're not keeping the original, or I'm gonna keep the original electrical in place for the most part because maybe somebody later down the road likes to see that sort of thing. But we're just gonna bypass around it all and keep everything in place. So.
Okay. Tasha Smith says, did you get in touch with the people that did your roof to give them a piece of our minds? LOL.
Yes, I talked to the guy actually on Monday, as you guys were watching the video probably, or maybe even slightly before. He's like walking around. He's like, yeah, that looks like that might have been a problem to begin with. I thought that would have been a problem. I'm like, well, why didn't you check it to begin with? If you thought it was going to leak, why'd you leave it that way? So yeah, we're supposed to get some fixes. Exactly when, I'm not sure. Hopefully soon. Next week.
Love following this. Why did you decide not to sister the rotten joists from Rubenberg?
So the rotten joists that we had in there, it was actually only like the first few top layers that were anywhat rotten, and I had a center point, basically a point that wasn't dipping down there, so I could basically glue and nail into it. So I realized that sistering them was kind of pointless. I mean, maybe it would have been slightly more structural, but I mean,
there's no creaks.
Yeah,
it doesn't move at all. We nailed it in, and it's solid. So
yeah, so it's not going.
We would have pulled it up if it wasn't solid. So
okay,
feels good. Danish D says, oh, never mind. That's not a question. Sorry. Henry Reupholstering says, did the house have the original bathrooms? If so, are they salvageable?
Wait, what was it? One more time.
Did the house have the original bathrooms? If so, are they salvageable?
I assume there's only one original bathroom, which is the one you guys that I've been talking about recently with the clawfoot tub and the sink. It has like red wallpaper on the bottom of it. That I think is the only original bathroom. Are all the fixtures original? The toilet for sure isn't. It's more modern. Exactly what year or when, I'm not sure. Probably 60s, 70s. The bathtub, I'm pretty sure, is close to original or right at. And I think the sink is a little off, maybe Edwardian. Mm-hmm. The sink, we're going to move out, and a lot of the other fixtures are basically going to go back. But I am going to tile the floor. I'm thinking with penny tiles, maybe do a mosaic there. And I'm going to do beadboard on the walls, unpainted, and then I have a marble sink that we're putting in there, and I'm gonna get a high tank toilet, and that's how we'll kind of set that all up, make it as Victorian as humanly possible. So,
problem being, oh, never mind. Sorry. Wishing you every success. It's a fascinating, beautiful house. Thank you, Matt E. We are looking to move to the city towards Central West End or Compton Heights. Do you have any tips? Oopsies, it jumped. Oh boy, I'm gonna scroll up.
We're gonna have a hard time keeping up with this today, guys. We'll try our best.
Do you have any moving to Central West End or Compton Heights? Do you have any tips you wish you could have told someone?
Tips for moving to St. Louis, or I guess we'll say tips for moving to St. Louis. Yeah, I mean, there are certain areas of the city that you probably don't want to frequent too often, I guess. Mm-hmm. But there are plenty of great things to see. I mean, I don't know. It's weird, I guess, because I'm from here. Like, I haven't always lived in St. Louis, but this is my hometown. Tips. I mean,
stuff happens everywhere, even in those neighborhoods that are safer, so.
I mean, you're not going to have any problem in Central West End or Compton Heights. I mean, those are high dollar neighborhoods, at least for this city.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the price tags wouldn't be too appalling for somebody coming from like San Francisco or New York or something. But yeah, I mean, they're nice neighborhoods, nice neighbors. If you're moving from a warmer environment, definitely buy yourself a coat.
Yeah. Be prepared.
And if you're moving from a cooler environment, you might want to get an AC system because it does get warm here too.
Also, if you're coming from somewhere that's not humid like it is here, like when I was a kid, I moved from California to here, and the humidity really killed me. And I was like, I can't breathe. I can't get a full breath. My mom took me to the doctor. I got x-rays, and they were like, nothing's wrong with you. You just need to get it adjusted to the humidity. So that's a thing you got to look out for too. So let's see. Lisa B says, hello from Audubon, Pennsylvania. What was it that made you decide to buy this particular home? Do you have any advice for others who would like to follow in your footsteps?
Well, I was always interested in these sort of houses, especially like 3-story tall. Like we have a lot of them in St. Louis, and it wasn't necessarily that I wanted something that was Second Empire or Italianate or anything like that. I just wanted a nice tall building with a beautiful staircase. That's really what I was after. But I was looking for at another building up in the same neighborhood, and that building was just all the historic elements were gone. It was huge. It was gorgeous. It was almost like 10,000 square feet. The house was huge, amazing place. But there were huge amount of damage. People muddled the hell out of it. It just wasn't savable and for what I wanted to do. I'd have had to go back and recreate woodwork, and there weren't any photos, and it would have been a mess. So I really loved the neighborhood, loved the area, and I really wanted to use or to be there because it was just a beautiful place. The neighbors were friendly, the streets were fine, and there was a lot of investment coming up there as well. So I'm like, well, I want to be up here. So I just went down the street on Google Maps and I found this one, and I'm like, well, let's see if I can find something. I found it online. The guy had been trying to sell it 2 years ago, 2 years before I found it, and we hit up the realtor, and he was willing to sell. And when we went into the place, it was just like, okay, this is the house. Yeah. The inside was so untouched. It's rare to find so many elements still left in a building like this. They've usually been messed with in so many different ways that it's not the same house anymore. It's a Victorian shell, but there's nothing left that's original. But this house was completely the opposite. So yeah, it was a no-brainer. Like I didn't know how I was going to get the house or how it was going to work, but I was going to figure it out. And here we are.
So Ruben Bird asked, it may have been shown, can you see the arch or river from any windows? Yeah, on the 3rd floor, from the windows in the bay window in the front, you can see the arch between a couple of buildings. So, and then the NGA is to the right of that. So it shouldn't interfere with the view at all. So that'll be cool to have, because that'll be our bedroom up there. It's
kind of framed between 2 other people's like peaks of their roofs, so it kind of just pokes out. It's kind of perfect.
It's pretty cool. Whirly 164 says it's nice you are working on this together. Yeah, it is nice, and we haven't had any fights or anything, so we've been going well. So
don't doubt it though.
Yeah, it'll happen at some point, I'm sure. But for now,
we've worked on other things before. Like again, like this is where we're standing in. Like this is my storefront in another part of the town. And, we worked well together on this, although, I mean, a lot of this was, she had work and everything else like that. So a lot of the time I was here alone as well. But when we were working together, there was no problems.
Yeah. So we're a good team, I'd say.
Oh, yeah. I guess for anybody, this isn't the house. I don't have this much power in the house.
No, I think we have 1 lamp and an extension cord. Yeah.
Yep.
Chris, the best gamer, says, why not some mahogany wood for the floors?
Mostly because getting reclaimed mahogany is really expensive, and downstairs, I mean, in the best rooms, like I'm almost positive those floors are oak. So the upstairs rooms wouldn't be better than the downstairs rooms. So that's kind of my reasoning behind that. Plus, recently where I got the lumber for the maid's floor, they have some what they call depression oak strips that are much thinner. They're like 1/4 inch engineered hardwood. And they have a bunch of them, and it's not super cheap, but it's cheaper than what you can go buy new. So I was considering grabbing basically all they have of that and waiting for some more to potentially come in, because it does come in. and using that. And the hallway downstairs is what they call that depression oak as well. At least that's what they call it. But it's just really thin hardwood strips. So we're thinking probably about using that. It would match what's already there, and it would work nice, I think.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. Jan 2020 says, why not consider GoFundMe with all of these people that want to help? So,
well, I do have my Patreon. I don't know how GoFundMe works because I didn't really ever think about setting up a Patreon. It wasn't something I was really terribly interested in. Like, my project, I want to pay for my project. But I don't know, like, can you get something for me for GoFundMe? Like, I don't know how it works. Like,
no,
if I could
just a donation,
at least send you,
That's why we like the Patreon, because, you get rewards on that. We've sent out stickers. We'll probably do, some shirts or something in the future if there's interest. So.
And I know it's stupid little dumb things essentially, but at least I can give back something. Like, I feel really weird just like, hey guys, give me money. That's not how I am at all.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And the fact that we're not trying to do this in a huge hurry, it'd be nice to have the plumbing and electrical done like right now, but everything else, we're, as long as we can get some plumbing and electrical going, we're fine living there kind of the way that it is for quite a while. We don't have any children, we just have 3 dogs and a cat, so we don't need a ton of space, so we'll just kind of stay where is already worked on or isn't in the worst shape. So it's not a huge hurry, so we don't need, a ton of money all at once or anything to get anything done. So, let's see. Mr. Marco Boy, 1900 says, how long was the house abandoned?
We believe, it's hard to say because of, the various owners, did the owner live there? Did they not? We're kind of assuming around 2005 or 6 was the last time somebody lived there. The previous owner to us did go up there and just randomly eat lunch up there.
I didn't know that. That's weird.
And then he fed cats outside. I don't know. He used the place for
that. Putting cat food outside in our front yard. And I'm like, you got to stop, man. When we went and looked at the house the first time, there was a cat on the mansard roof, like the cornice on it and the gutters, like standing out there. And I'm like, we cannot have cats overrunning this house. Like, I love cats, but like, we have our own pets, and I don't need a bunch of stray animals, with fleas and God knows what else hanging around. So, let's see. Tucker SP 2011 says, is that lamp original to the house?
This one? No, I actually bought this at a little local estate auction thing. One of the restaurants down the way, an older restaurant, went out of business. Me thinking this was probably an original Newell post lamp and that I wanted to put it in the house.
Mm-hmm. We bought it, the auction was online, so we did not get to see it prior to purchase.
Yeah, it's a resin molded version. Like, this is all okay, it's metal, but this is all resin. And she's actually broken here, which I didn't know either. She's supposed to be holding a plate of some sort. I don't know. It's still a cool lamp.
Yeah, we like it.
I just prefer to maybe get something that's bronze or maybe a wood Newell post lamp for the house, just because, I might cheat here and there with like certain things I do with the building. But, the Newell post lamp, I'd like to have something kind of nice for it. It's a nice house. So
it is. Gathering Sanity says, do you have any photos of the interior of the house?
No. We have been writing letters to some of the previous owners, trying to contact them. Like, hey, do you got Christmas photos? Do you got anything that has any of the photos of the inside of the house? And I'm not even talking about like old photos. I just want to know what like the mantles look like, what the fret and the spandrel work above the pocket doors look like, and what the Newell posts look like. And I could even, I could handle not having what the Newell posts look like. But the mantles are especially important. And I just need photo of one of them because I know they were matching.
They were a little bit different in size though, right?
For like an inch.
Okay. The Artistic Flavor says, what kinds of ghosts have you met so far? We haven't met any ghosts yet. Ghosts. Sorry, dog's going and doing something. The other day though, I kind of had something happen. I was like in my peripheral vision when we were working at the house on Sunday after it got dark. When you see a hair floating and it like catches the light. And you're like, what was that? Well, I saw something that was kind of like, it was kind of hard to explain because it's my peripheral vision. It just kind of looked like a hair that had caught light, but there was like rainbow below it, but not like, not like solid or anything, but just a little bit like transparent, just real quick. It was probably about this big. The whole thing was, so I don't know what that was. Maybe I'm losing my mind. I don't know.
I think she's seeing things. I know I've actually spent the night there already once, and I've been there a lot alone, and I haven't heard or seen anything that you wouldn't hear or see in a normal old house.
Mm-hmm.
It makes noises, floors creak when you step certain areas, like the doorknob will rattle against the radiator, or you'll step and a door will open because you're loosening that floor. So yeah, normal old house things, sure. It's actually pretty windy up there. So I've been kind of jumped once or twice because one of the glass or the screen door, or you call them the doors, the storm doors or whatever, will slam because it catches the wind and it pulls it out and then pulls it back and slams it. So that happens. But other than that, no, I haven't seen anything moving. Haven't seen anything.
Maybe once we move in, we'll see some more evidence, possibly. Hopefully, haunted mansion. I'm kind of like a paranormal loving type of person, so hopefully we'll see something. I'm not opposed to it. I think if I saw a ghost standing there, I'd probably be like, oh my God, because I startle really easily. So I'd probably just be startled, but not really scared, Be like, hey, you startled me. Sorry. I'm not scared of you. As long as you're not here to hurt us. So. Let's see.
Ooh, New Zealand.
Hi from New Zealand. I am absolutely. Whoa, wow, things just really jumped when I tried to scroll down to that.
We gotta start speeding up the answers a little bit more.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay.
You see what I'm saying though? You're
right. Sorry.
I'm really
doing a ramble about ghosts, okay? Hi from New Zealand.
Rambling.
I am absolutely in love with your house. Can't wait to see the finished result. Do you guys have an Instagram to follow? Yes, it is the _second_empire_strikes_back. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think if you just type in the Second Empire Strikes Back, you'll probably find it.
Yeah, you'll probably find it. What is your favorite part of the house? Least favorite, says Ruben Bird. My favorite room in the house, I know Caleb's is the front parlor. I really like that one too, but I really like the master bedroom above it too, just because the light in there is really nice. And it has that little alcove to the side with another window. It's a nice little chill spot. So.
Yeah, favorite the front parlor, mostly because the original. What are the? I'm blanking now.
I am too.
Shutters. The original shutters are still in the windows, and they fold up into the wood paneling, and they're really amazing.
It's really cool.
Least favorite room, the maze room.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say my craft room.
Right now, I mean, it's like one of the smaller rooms in the house. Like I don't dislike any of the rooms. Yeah. It's got the least, beautiful woodwork in it.
Mm-hmm. The gas heater room in the basement, I hate it. There's no light in there. It's really creepy. I feel like somebody, I don't know, something happened there. Hope you guys are doing this. Did you decide on a wallpaper for the dining room?
No, I haven't. Those were just samples that I was just given by that guy from the Campbell House. It's like, here, these are historical wallpapers from the era you're looking at, just to give you an idea of what they would look like on your walls. You can have them. They're free. Sort of thing. So actually, and he told me I have to go pick up some tomorrow from him as well. So I have more coming.
And that was from T&A Lake. And Michael Scotch says, does the house stink? No, it doesn't stink. It smells a little dusty.
I mean,
it smells older, but I mean, it's not stinky. You can just tell it's an old house.
I think when we first got there was like, I think a mouse that I swept up. But it was a little.
That's
gross.
right. It was stinky at the bottom of the stairs on the first floor. It was definitely stinky.
Chippy does not smell like anything.
Because he's mummified. He's preserved. There's nothing there to smell. Mountain Mist 868 says, been considering buying a fixer-upper under $50,000 in North St. Louis. What neighborhood do you recommend looking at? Definitely where we're at.
Old North, St. Louis Place, if you could find one now.
Yeah, there's
because
not a lot for sale there.
The speculation is really now very high around the area because of the NGA project. Mm-hmm. I would say Hyde Park, but you're probably looking at 15. I don't know. You're probably looking at least like maybe 9 or 10 years before that place is like better again. Mm-hmm. Not that it's even that terrible at the moment. Man, if some of the other plans go through, College Hill would be really cool. It's a beautiful area, but man, College Hill's it's still crunchy, really crunchy up there. Like maybe my neighborhood or our neighborhood looks crunchy, but it isn't. It's fairly safe. But I don't know. It's hard to say with North St. Louis. I haven't looked into all of it. I know if you can get anything in the West End right now, which they've shot up over there too. When you fix something up over there, you'll probably win.
I got an idea. I'll do it on my phone.
What?
I'll look at the questions on my phone.
Oh.
That's smart rather than being like, what does that say? So WL says, please tell me your color palette is not gray, and more gray. No.
Most everything room is getting wallpaper, except for probably the bathrooms, just because wallpaper, wet moisture don't really do that well. I know the Victorians did it. I don't know that we're going to do that. I might find a solution for that. I don't know. But yeah, no, I can't even think of where gray would go into the house. But no, we're using yellows, greens, creams, reds, even certain blues, maybe purples at points.
Mm-hmm. Green's my favorite color, so I hope there's plenty of green in the house, especially if we do some Art Deco areas. I really like green and gold,
well,
like on the third floor.
Third
floor, but yeah.
No, nobody think that we're doing anything Art Deco in any of the Victorian rooms whatsoever.
No,
There's just certain rooms in the third floor that we're going to a little bit 1920s with.
A lot of it. So Carol and Crane, did you have to search looking at other older homes, or was this the only home you looked at? We looked at quite a few places over the years. Some at the time where I was like, wow, this is a really bad shape. This is a huge undertaking. I don't want to do this. I'm not into it. And now I think about those. I'm like, oh, we could have done it. But we found a really beautiful house. So, we looked at a mansion right down the street, and it was out of our price range, of course. But that one needed a lot of work.
If I'm being fully honest, I was looking at much smaller homes, much smaller, like under 1,000 square foot, just tiny little bungalows, essentially. The little brick guys that we have here in the city, 2-bedroom places. I was just trying to buy another project like this project. I basically started wrapping this whole thing up, my storefront. And so I wanted to get another place that I could fix up, rent out, and move on to the next place. But I started looking up there at that neighborhood, and I knew with the NGA and a lot of the other projects that are going on up there, it's not going to be very affordable for very long. And so once I found this house, it's now or never. And so, I think in 2 or 3 years, it's going to be very, very hard to buy anything up there. And it's already getting difficult. There's almost nothing ever for sale up there.
Yeah, no. There was one other place. Well, besides that mansion that we looked at, there was one other place around the corner from there that we did look at briefly. This was before the pandemic happened, but the person had the flu, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not going in that house. I don't know. It was like right before things got really bad. But yeah, that one was, I guess I did go in there after that, actually. They went in, Caleb and the real estate agent went in there very briefly while the person had the flu. And I was like, not me. But then after they decided to move out, not that long later. So we went in, and it was not in the best shape. So I'm our place
totally turned that into a beautiful home. It had enough elements left.
Sure. I mean, that was like a year ago almost. I don't even remember. I'm going to start updating this from my phone, but I can't go all the way back. So I'm just going to do this until I get to the point where my phone is. Devin Cook says, hello from New York. Is this the first house you two have taken on? Love the videos. Oh my goodness gracious. These dogs are doing too much. No, that's not the first house that we've taken on. We did this one here that we're in. It's a multi-use building. Me and Caleb live in the back in an addition. It's like a 2-story addition, but it's quite small. And we've got 4 pets. These ones in here aren't our pets. Those are his dad's dogs. But our house is really small. This building is quite large, but half of it, a lot of it's the storefront. And then there's an apartment upstairs where a couple guys live. So
essentially it's a 3-unit mixed use building. But in this building, I did do this storefront here. So you can see I've redone all the windows. This is just plastic sheeting on this. It has the original 10. So you can see I've got a little bit of, I know how to preserve some things.
Yeah, we've
I don't rip things out. So.
And when I was, oh my gosh, how old was I when we did with an ex when I was a lot younger, I think I was 18. We bought a house and basically gutted it and not restored it, but we remodeled it and put in new walls and whatnot. So I haven't done as much as Caleb has in the past, but
My dad was
definitely done some stuff.
my dad growing up as a carpenter. I've been around tools and stuff like that. I come from a pretty blue collar family.
Jeff Sharp says, I noticed you were wearing a Cerro Gordo jacket in one of your videos. Do you know Brent? He's
I do
just
not
a fan
know
of the
him,
channel.
but I thought that was a really cool hoodie, and so I'm like, I'll have one of those.
Molly Merciel says, hello from Fenton. Hi.
Hello, Fenton.
I love your
It's not very
t-shirt,
far
Kim.
away.
Tasha Smith says, I love the Haunted Mansion. That's my favorite thing. I'm a total Disney person, so you might come to see that. What is the status with the roofer? Did you get a new roofer after the other fiasco?
No, I'm giving him another shot, which is why you guys don't know the name of the company yet.
Yeah.
I hate to be the
And
dude
also,
that
we don't want to
did
get
it.
sued.
Well,
You never know, like the recourse, you don't want to slander somebody, even if it is the truth, but you never know what the heck could happen in court. So don't even want to go down that road.
all right, continue.
Okay. Mighty Wolf says, you don't have to answer, but how much money has the house cost so far?
I think around 80,000 with purchase price and everything that I've done with the roof, with the pointing, and with the new water line. We're getting a new gas line in right now, but that's the city's thing. Spire has to pay for that, which is the gas company here in St. Louis. So,
Justin Side says, I'm trying to watch you and the Blues game at the same time. Hey again, Justin, thanks for joining us.
dude, I know I want to be watching the game right now too. I can't do it.
Austin DeMarco says, how far have you got with the electrical? Nowhere.
We've
Literally
done
started nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Like the knob and tube is somewhat functional because some of that is still working. You just can't pull a lot of power through it. So that's why I have that extension cord, because it's running to one of the only modern boxes in the basement. And I know that one's solid. I've checked it all. So that's why I know that I have one at least good set of power.
Let's see. Queen Crusader says, what city are you located in? We're in St. Louis. The house is in North City. Abandoned? Anyone else come forward with missing fixtures from your home, says Mr. Marco Boy 1900.
No, not
Nothing.
yet. I mean, to be honest, I never expected the tiles to come back.
That was 1 in a million,
Yeah,
truly.
I don't think that's ever going to happen again. But if I can get photos, I can get the pieces remade.
Courtney B says, hello from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. What are your historical inspirations for decorating? Any particular photos or period dramas? I'm not a fan of period dramas. So.
No, I mean, I haven't watched much of anything either. I mean, I watch a lot of documentaries. That's kind of my jam. But there's a house here in St. Louis called the Campbell House, which is a museum that was up. They have photos from the 1880s, and it was built in 1850. And the family lived there until the 1930s, and 2 years later, it got turned into a museum. So all the family's possessions from that era are still there. And since they have the photos from the 1880s, you could be like, oh, hey, look, that's the same mirror and the same vase and the same chandelier. Everything in there is exactly the same as it was. And that's been one of my hugest inspirations for building this place. If you guys are ever in St. Louis, I highly suggest going and paying it a visit.
Yeah, it's really cool. When I went, that was the second time he'd been. The first time I went, they didn't really, was that the first time you went when we went? The second time. I thought so. But right now they're doing construction. So,
It's done.
Oh, okay. Well, it's done. But I only saw the first floor in the main house, and then Caleb kind of got to know the people there, and he got to see everything, even though it wasn't open to the public at the time. So that was really cool. I haven't seen it, but we have a membership, so I guess we'll have to go back very soon so that I can see. You're going tomorrow?
He's got more wallpaper samples.
Oh, well, then I guess I'll go tomorrow. I'm off in the morning, so let's see. Would you be able to get any tax benefits for your preservation efforts? Says Bradley Wood.
Yes, we're working on the tax credits right now, both federal and state. We'll see how it goes.
It's like 25%?
It's 25. It's 25 and 25. 25 and 20. So cool. State's 25 and federal is 20.
Mm-hmm.
The other way around.
Amanda Hartlery says, what are your plans for the vet clinic in the basement? At the moment, nothing. We don't have an idea yet. I used to be a dog groomer. Sorry, as I hair in my mouth, one of those boggles. So if I really wanted to, I could probably set it up as a dog grooming salon, but I miss dog grooming and like meeting all the new dogs and stuff, but it can be tough to groom a dog. Obviously, I'm sure you understand. So maybe, probably not. Maybe I'll open like a wash your own dog, where you go and you bring your dog and you pay a couple bucks and you wash them in the tub with some shampoo and then you use their dryer and then you head out. So maybe something like that. There's enough space in there. So
more than likely it'll just end up being whatever it ends up being at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a part of the house I'm definitely going to preserve. Nothing's going to change with it. But that being said, because there's the radiator pipes in there and stuff, like there are spots where it's a little low, where the rest of the basement's actually really tall.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to rip anything out of it. I'll preserve it, put it back up. I don't know. Maybe I'll even set it up with like a little old school vet table or something in there, and then people can go see it. I don't know.
Who knows? Creative Estates 101 says, do you plan on putting converted gasolier light fixtures throughout? I'm guessing that was supposed to be gasoline.
No gasoline.
Gasoline?
Yeah, that's the gas fixtures.
Okay. Light fixtures throughout the house.
They said converted, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's actually the plan. That's kind of where I'm aiming.
Aren't those pricey? Because they're kind of rare.
No.
Okay, never mind.
No, it's the combination. It's electrical and gas. That's really hard to find.
Okay.
I haven't found any of them.
Which is what
you
we
can
have
find
in the
tons of
front
gas and you can find tons of electrical, but finding both is really difficult. So yeah, probably I think it'll be hard to say because you can go a little earlier and a little later and it still kind of works style wise. But I haven't figured out exactly what we're gonna do. I do have a guy here locally actually that I did find a bunch of those gas layer lights, and he hasn't hit me back. But as soon as I hear from him, I should be able to pick up like about 7 or 8 of them, and most of them are pretty nice chandeliers. I don't think they're big enough for the parlors, but for like the bedrooms and the hallways and the bathrooms, they'll all be great for that. He has all the shades and everything to go with them, so they'll need to be rewired, but I can handle that.
He's talking to me about being long-winded, huh? How is the roof? Did the little tinker show up? Says Moira Goldsmith. Yeah, we're working on it. We're gonna give him another chance to get it correct. Joseph Rogers says, "What kind of store do you have?"
A storeroom? No, it's basically a storage for us at the moment. Basically by the time when I finished this, the pandemic had just started. I was considering opening an ice cream shop actually, but then I found this house and did some other things, and simply put, I threw all of my money at the house. This is done, but it'll be something at some point. Right now, it's a really convenient spot in the city for us to put a bunch of Victorian furniture, which is why you're seeing all this stuff hanging out here. And there's piles of it behind us. We've been collecting a
lot of stuff. Well, we have quite a bit. We hauled real hard in August at an estate sale. We hauled. We spent some thousands. But yeah, we got a ton of stuff, so it was really well worth it. Let's see. Laura Altman said, you posted that they were working on the gas lines. Did they get that done today or progress? And now I'm up to timing on my phone. Cool. I'm
not sure what they got done today. They're supposed to have called me back. They haven't. I know they were working on it today, but I didn't get a chance to get up there today. I will definitely let you guys know about that in next week's or Monday's video, because I'll probably go out there and have a look at it. Hopefully it's in there, but then I have to call boiler guys, get them out. They pressure tested the system, so the system should be good. And now that I have water in the house and then I have gas, we should be good to go if the boiler's good. And the boiler's not very old. It's from 2007, so we should be good.
Okay. Barty Verma, sorry if I butchered that. Will you use Victorian furniture too? Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Christina Samayoa says, I'm a bit late, but do you guys have any future plans to restore other Victorian historic homes? Hello from Port Isabel, Texas.
I mean, if I get this done, I wouldn't mind taking on another project. My only thing is, it would have to be in probably in help with other people, because a project like this, these buildings don't stop needing care. They don't stop needing repairs. You have to do this continually. It's a project forever, essentially, a lot of these houses.
Yeah.
I mean, so are some modern homes. You end up doing something and something will crack and you have to patch it. And, it's the same sort of thing, but just on a different scale. But yeah, I mean, I get this done, I get it wrapped up, and another opportunity pops up, especially if it's in my same neighborhood. I'll definitely take the challenge. I like doing this stuff. So
yeah, it feels really good at the end of the workday, seeing what we got done, even if it wasn't an entire floor in one day. It feels good to see what we finished. Clown Nut says, Ryan mentioned this house. That's what, Mr. Man?
Yeah.
Okay, mentioned this house on his channel. How is he involved? I have not seen him on your channel.
I hit him up actually before I started the channel, going like, hey man, I have this place. Would you like to take a tour of it? Because he tours a bunch of this houses in the city. And I've been trying to set up a tour with him at some point. Yeah, I heard from, I guess, last 2 weeks ago. He said we're still planning on doing it. It just hasn't happened yet. But the house will have a tour on Ryan's channel at some point.
Chris, the best gamer, says, what's your budget? I don't think that we really have a budget.
260,000.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I know.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's about 260,000. That's not including purchase price, which was 65K. So
they've done
a
the
little
math.
over a $300,000 house essentially. Now that doesn't include every piece of furniture, doesn't include every piece of wallpaper, doesn't include if I paid really expensive amount or pay exorbitant amounts for high tank toilets and that sort of thing. But that gets me, a dry, mostly complete house. So
Um, now that you have found the original tiles for one of the fireplaces, are you going to have similar ornate tiles for the other fireplace made? Kiroha Fluffy says.
yeah, I'll try. Supposedly, some salvage yard hit me up and said they had the Mantis surround pieces that were identical to the ones I had. I told them to, shoot me a price and shoot me a photo, and never got back to me. Sometimes things pop up, and I'm not in a rush to finish the parlors at the moment, so I'm just gonna keep searching, and maybe I'll have some remade, and maybe we'll find something really cool. I don't know. So it's just as we go, we'll figure it out.
Christina Crokin says, when it comes to both of you, what part of the house are you most excited to fix up? For me, I'm excited for the kitchen to be done. Just because, I don't know, I like cooking and whatnot, but our house right now is like, so there's really not a lot of room to be doing any of that. I think we have probably like a 3-foot section of counter for me to use, and there's my coffee pot and my toaster on it too. So it's just annoying. And like the fridge is right there. So I'm just looking forward to being able to cook again. I mean, it won't be my most comfortable favorite room, but I'm looking forward to having a nice big kitchen. Big.
I just want to see the two front parlors and the hallway, the stairwell done. I think, I don't know, like, you get that kind of when you walk into a place like that. And I think I'm just going to really enjoy walking into a place like that all the time. So that's it for me.
Laura Gomez says, have you tried to do any metal detecting in your yard yet? No, we haven't. Somebody left a comment on that, like that on our last video, I do believe. Or maybe the live stream, and I was like, that is a fantastic idea, and we should totally do that because we might find something really cool out there. Cesaro Beachball says, as someone who owns a Victorian from 1870, I love what you two are doing. How has COVID affected the progress of the renovations?
Well, we bought it when COVID was already a thing, so I don't know how it would have been better otherwise. I mean, I guess, Lowe's and Home Depot are still open.
Yeah, that helps.
So, I mean, I don't know. I guess it affected us like I guess it affected everybody else. I don't know.
Okay, Amanda Hartlery says, we would love to see examples of the furniture you want to use in the main room. So we'll have to do a furniture tour of all the stuff that we've got at some point.
This really cool chair.
Yeah.
It's hard to see, but it's really well, like, ornately carved. And yeah, obviously the upholstery is not great, but I have that. I have some like a lot of Eastlake furniture.
Eastlake.
We have a little bit of Rococo stuff here and there. And we do have a Art Deco bedroom set, but that goes up in our space.
It has a really big armoire thing that's got mother of pearl on it. It has 2 nightstands that went with it that have a mother of pearl inlay. What's up?
Wouldn't it be a wardrobe?
Wardrobe. I said armoire. Isn't armoire drawers? It's a wardrobe.
All of our nomenclature's not
the,
great yet.
The bed frame, which has mother of pearl inlay in the middle of the top portion, the headboard. But I think that it's a full size, and we have 3 dogs and a cat, so like a full size is not going to work in our house. So we'll have to figure something else out. Let's see. Is St. Louis still offering tax breaks for restorations? Says Moira M.
They are at the moment. The people I've been talking to, it doesn't seem like they're going to very much longer. Then again, take that with a grain of salt. I'm not an expert. That's just people I've heard talk. So I don't know.
Kelly Jordan says, do you plan on using period pieces, reupholstering random finds? Yeah, absolutely. Like Caleb just showed that chair. Yeah. I actually quite like the upholstery on this one. Maybe we'll just get the seat fixed so that it's not sinking anymore. Yeah, I like that upholstery quite a bit. A lot of the furniture that we've bought, like maybe the upholstery isn't like perfect, but I mean, it's an antique. So if it's not falling apart, we'll fix what's falling apart about it. And then hopefully, keep the upholstery the same.
There might have to be some things changed just for color reasons.
Yeah, like this guy right here is a a little ugly.
That's John's 70s stuff.
Never mind. We have so much furniture. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on in here anymore. So, okay, that's not our chair because I don't like it. So, Debbie says Kim wants to have ghost residents next time she's going to wear a Ghostbuster shirt. Maybe. Patrick Collins says, was the house built with electricity or was it gas that was later converted?
It was built with electricity. And the main reason I know that is because that chandelier in the first room when you walk in is both gas and electric. But, gas being the more reliable option, electric being the new fangled, invention or whatever. But it did have both originally. I believe all the wires and everything on the walls are original to the building as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, many places that haven't been disturbed forever. I've seen little knob and posts when you kind of dig around in there. So, or knob and tube, sorry.
Holy macaroni. We are only at, these are the questions that were left at 8:12. It is now 8:38. So I'm really behind. I'm sorry. Cat Girl says, just FYI, there's a place on South Broadway that has lots of reclaimed items near the old Falstaff Brewery.
No, she said old Falstaff. Yeah, assuming you mean Limp. The junk shop.
Yeah, we go there.
Yeah, Regan's awesome. The guy that runs that place, amazing.
What type of business do you have at the building you are currently at? None. It's just storage. With today's rules on safety, do you have to change all the piping, water lines, and heater, et cetera? Does it cost to make the home historic? Rosalind Campese said, yeah, the pipes are lead. So. Well,
no, not all.
Not okay.
The original service pipes to the city were lead, and some of the original drains were lead. But we're not. Those are all disconnected. They're gone. We've run a brand new copper service all the way to the city's connection out. So that's all new. We should be good there. And then because the system had lead in it, we probably won't be putting. We'll probably be ripping out all of the old copper and putting in new stuff again. So.
Oopsies. Would it be rude to ask how much you paid for the house? Only asking because I want to buy something similar in the future. Hannah Hopkins says the house was $65,000. So.
Yep. No, I don't. Yeah, I think I've said it in one of the videos.
Yeah, I think you said it a couple times.
Yeah. No, we're pretty much open books. I'll let you guys know anything.
Laura Oltman says, Kim, I believe you saw a ghost. If that helps, thank you. Sherry Gorse says, any concerns about asbestos?
There's asbestos wrapped radiator pipes in the basement, but. Somebody's already done some abatement on it somewhat. No, I just need to go back down there and replaster wrap them. There shouldn't be a problem. Nothing's leaking or falling out of it. But like I said, somebody had taken the wraps off them at some points. I'll probably have to go down there with a spritzer and kind of mop everything up to make sure there's no more fibers. But no, there's not a huge concern with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be just wrapping that again, yeah?
Yeah, they're just going to get wrapped.
Yeah, so we're not pulling it out, so... Hopefully that'll be good. Bradley Wood says, were the roofers insured?
They are. I mean, they have to come back and fix some stuff.
Yeah.
Or at least I'm sure they are.
Rescue Ranger says, have you come across any evidence of gaslighting? Yeah, in a lot of the rooms, they're in the walls, like gas lines for sconces. The chandelier in the front hallway is gas and electric. So.
Yeah, they would have ran a lot of gas in that house, a lot. Yeah. There are so many holes and so many rooms and sconces. And a lot of the time they're asymmetrical. They'll have like one on one side of the bay, but not the other. I don't know.
Mountain Mist 868 says, do you expect North St. Louis to become safer with new NGA?
Yes.
Mm-hmm, very much
absolutely.
So. Yeah, we've seen like unmarked, obviously, government vehicles driving around here and there. Not all the time. So I'm assuming it'll be a lot more secure over there. So people will put their eyes out and whatnot.
Well, there are actually talks of the NGA controlling cameras for like a 3-mile radius around that.
I mean, I guess that would make sense since it's a government installation, and there's been issues lately with things. So, more security for them, the better. Vivian Lou says, what do you guys think about people moving over there from the West Coast? Do you think it's a big change? I'm thinking about it because it's too expensive in here and I love history. I'm from Seattle.
Yeah, you're welcome to come here. I think St. Louis is an extremely inviting city.
Yeah.
I think, I don't think anybody minds. It's not like you're going to be pushing out any families per se in most of these neighborhoods. Most of these neighborhoods full of abandoned homes or homes that haven't been lived in at least 3 or 4 years.
Or empty lots.
Empty lots. You can come build your dream home here.
Yeah, and it'd be a lot cheaper than Seattle even to build your house, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
crazy expensive. So
Well, whole West Coast,
yeah.
whole thing. I used to live in LA. I know. I feel your pain.
Yeah, and I used to live outside of LA when I was a kid, and our house, I think, was a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath house. I think the most recently sold for like $600,000. I'm like, okay, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a house that size. Because like here, that would probably be like 150. So, let's see. What's the NGA? Chris, the best gamer, says it's the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. So it's an Air Force installation. They do like satellites and drones and whatnot, just surveillance type stuff. So
It's all the spies.
yeah, basically. So it'll be the
or at least that's what they tell us. We really don't know. I don't know.
A lot of mapping.
Yeah, lots of mapping. They do a lot of work with the military. So.
Nameless one says, I used to visit my brother when he lived in STL. Where is your house located? It is in St. Louis Place in North City, right down from Old North where Crown Candy is. Mickey Rigo says, how do you plan to handle air conditioning in the summer? For the time being, probably window units.
What? No, I've been talking to HVAC contractors. There's a few different systems. There's one called Unico, which is a very small duct that you can kind of fit through walls and stuff like that. And then you can kind of come back down and drop into ceilings. And the vents are only about 3 inches in diameter. So they don't have a huge amount of like disruption to the rest of the house. So that's kind of how I plan on doing it. I've heard some other solutions. Somebody was saying that you could take out the radiators and then you could run the lines for mini splits into the radiators and then put a box around them, which I don't want to do because I don't want to lose the radiators. I think they're awesome. I don't know, putting cassettes in the ceiling. I mean, there has to be something because simply put, it gets hot here in St. Louis. Somebody from Finland told me, don't put an HVAC in that house. I'm like, you don't understand how hot it gets in this city in the summer.
Yeah.
And the humidity. So we'll have to figure out some solution.
Chuck Kelly says, nice job with the safety boots, Kim. Thank you for commenting that I should get some darn normal work shoes. I didn't really have any, and I'm just over there in whatever shoes I had. So, definitely not safe. Siobhan Art said, what inspired the name of your channel? Sorry if you're just answering questions about the house. You can ask whatever. Just a play on words, We like Star Wars too. So.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. Denise Sleep says, is it safe where you live?
Here or there? This is actually less safe than
this is there was an awful murder this morning, maybe a mile away. We live in Dutchtown South in St. Louis, and it's not a great neighborhood.
No, up there it's fairly safe though.
Yeah, it's really quiet.
Crime rate's not super duper high. To be honest, there's not very many people live there anymore. But if you're talking 30 years ago, then yes, it would have been a very dangerous neighborhood. But right now, no, it's quiet.
Sean Rossi says, in the maid's hallway, there is a pipe that has been capped off, maybe to a radiator. I have one in my home on the second floor. I'm wondering if you know what it was used for.
That one for sure is to the radiator. It's a 2-pipe system, so there's actually 2 pipes popping out of there. And what would be your, because it's a steam system, steam rises, then the next one's the return to the radiator.
Chris, the best gamer, says, what about the wallpaper in second floor that's originally there, and can it be saved?
I don't think I can get it to be saved. It's been had things glued on top of it and stuff, but if I can get the pattern off, I can have it reprinted. And that's the plan for that, if I can get enough of it exposed.
Are you eating hair?
To have it recreated and reprinted.
It was painted over, wallpaper was like layered, so we've gotten little tiny scraps, but it's not super easy to get off of there. We've opened up, just a couple little inches.
Have we gotten to an arsenic question yet?
Yeah, we know. We know that there's arsenic in Victorian wallpaper.
Green wallpaper.
Yeah, green Victorian
but
wallpaper.
Actually, from what the research I've done, it seems they stopped doing that in about the 1880s. So, I don't know.
Hi from Minneapolis, and concerns about asbestos. I don't know.
Do we have concerns about asbestos? Is that another one?
In the house,
There's the radiator pipes in the basement have it. That's really it.
Yeah, that's really it. Yeah.
It's kind of too old in a lot of ways. Like, it's not going to be in the plaster. Like, I feel bad for anybody who's like a 30s to like a 60s house.
Yeah.
If you had plaster, I probably threw some in there. Good luck with that.
Evangelia Murgia says, what's been the most frustrating part of this process thus far?
Getting good contractors, I think. It's just hard to find people, like, because we're up north and because most of the people who like are contractors or good contractors at least, they usually work out in the counties and they're like, oh, the city, that's dangerous. Why would you ever invest here? And they just want to do, pardon my language, half-ass work. Or they're like, well, or they have the impression that, oh, you're in this part of the city, you can't afford it, or whatever the excuse is. It's hard to find somebody who actually cares and wants to bring the character back, that cares about their craftsmanship, because nobody seems to. So that's absolutely hands down the most frustrating thing I've experienced.
And Caleb might have come across this past week as, frustrated, but for him, he's such a chill guy. He was big mad. Big mad. That was big mad for Caleb.
Yeah, I took a moment before I talked to you guys.
Yes, he did take a minute. He wasn't. I'm the one who gets like visibly like about stuff. So he's usually pretty chill about stuff. Justin says, "How did your trip to Arkansas go?" That's this coming Sunday.
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet.
Yep.
And also, weather permitting. That's a good point.
Is the pump organ original to the house? Worley 164 says, "No, we just recently bought that." S. Bro Callie says, "Are a lot of the houses around yours people's projects, and have you met the owners?"
A few of them are. Some of them are like, I don't know that anybody's necessarily doing exactly what we're doing yet. Hey,
Cody, go.
Yeah, I expect it to grow here pretty shortly. Especially when the NJA is complete and people have more high-paying jobs over there, and then more businesses be attracted to the area. There's a lot of other talk about a lot of other development they want to do around there. So I imagine it'll grow pretty quickly. Unfortunately, a lot of the houses are missing and gone. So a lot of people are going to have to start with nothing. I do hope that means that people try to be at least on our main block, which is the main street of that neighborhood. I hope at least in that street they do homes that are really sympathetic to the ones next to them instead of some weird modern blocky stuff. On the street behind me, Ben, go for it.
Okay. Sorry, y'all. I'm just getting to where people were doing stuff about noses and poop emojis. Sorry about that. We're like super behind. I guess next time we do this, in 3 weeks, we'll have to have somebody moderating, because we didn't even think of something like that happening, and here we are. I'm seeing people talking about we're getting raided by 2 ding dongs, and they're talking about us picking our noses. I'm like, okay.
It's exciting stuff. Riveting.
Joseph Rogers said we would love a tour of the store building. Right now the storefront is so full of stuff. Our storage, it's not a lot to show. Upstairs in the apartment, it's pretty cute. We did a really cool job in there, but there's people living there, so we can't really go up there and be like, we're gonna film your house now. And then our house is just kind of it's tiny. It's nothing special.
It's like about 500 square feet. So.
I don't even know if it's that much. Do you guys have plans for a Victorian garden? Aunt Amanda Hartley says. Hartlery.
Yes, but I have to buy the lot next door to do that, where the other clone of my house used to sit. So I'll try, or we're going to try to do that. But yeah, I've had plans for a labyrinth, a nice old gazebo, and lots of a nice Victorian fence with some like gingerbreading around the top. So no, I definitely have plans. But the idea is just to get the house squared away, and then maybe in the spring and the fall when the weather's nice, work outside.
Kathy Finley says, really appreciate the channel. How is the furniture search going? Before we closed on the house, and we were super stoked about it, we were like getting furniture, like getting furniture. Whatever we liked, we got it. Right now, we're so busy. We both work throughout the week, and then we work on the house on the weekends. We don't have time. We don't have time to go look for anything. And also, we don't want to stuff any more stuff in here. So
no, I mean, I look all the time still, but the thing is,
I'm
a little more educated on what I'm looking at now. So I have a better idea of what it was, or what it is. And I have more of an idea of what I want to, push the building towards and how I want to decorate certain rooms. But I won't go and pick something up unless it's like pretty special or I think it's really beautiful. Not to say that the stuff we didn't collect before wasn't nice stuff, but maybe some of it's a little lower than I want in certain rooms at least. So, finding that balance.
I think I asked that one. Yeah, I think I was scrolling around here. Really excited. Great to see you, Liam. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll through. I'm just making sure all these ding dongs messages are gone. Will you be using oil lamps or all electric lighting? The Conqueror 1812.
It'll be electric, but they will probably look like gas lamps.
Yeah.
Or they'll probably be modified gas lamps.
Mm-hmm. Have y'all found any old paintings to add to the house? Yes. Let me get some.
Oh, those are prints. Those aren't paintings.
I found some pretty art, and I just kind of want to show it off.
Okay, well, good.
Okay.
Make it happen. That I am an artist. I'm a painter, so I do plan on painting like portraits of Mr. Brown and stuff like that as well. So, actually, my stuff's there, isn't it?
So I got this creepy child in bubble glass. I think I paid $75 for this at an antique store, but the frame is a little bit broken up here, but I don't really mind. It's really pretty. It's nice metal. I like creepy stuff. If you can't tell, so creepy baby. Whoopsies.
Oh, you only brought the one?
I mean, I can only grab one at a time. And then we've got this one. Where did we find this one? Maybe an antique store? I think in an antique store, yeah.
Cherokee, probably.
Yeah. And then we found this print. It's a little worse for the wear inside of there, but this print at the estate sale that we found most of our furniture at, quite like this. Is really pretty. I'm gonna do two more. Hold this for a second. Couple of creepies, creepy lady, and then another creepy child with a cat.
I actually think those are too old of a style.
I don't care. We found these at the same antiques estate sale that we found the furniture that we got. So I don't know. If it's creepy, I like it. So all right.
And at some point, I'll show you guys in a video like the paintings I do. So that way, I can handle painting something somewhat nice for the house.
Espro Callie says, "Hello from California. Did you find out why the previous owners had to let go of the house?"
He was just using it as a storage unit.
Yeah,
he just basically didn't want
stuff.
it to be torn down, so that's why he bought it. Like, he didn't have plans at all. So.
Kathy Smith says, "Have you tried the Historical Society? They might have photos."
Yes. I actually have a friend who works over there, and when we hired the historian, that's right where she went.
Yeah.
She couldn't find any. I couldn't find any. My friend couldn't find any.
Yeah.
And because the family is kind of scattered, the Brown at least family is kind of scattered to the wind. Yeah, who knows?
Janet Nellis says, "Are you going to work only on the inside first, then the outside? Have you figured out the colors for the outside of the house?" Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're going to do like the whole inside first. We just want to get some spaces livable.
No, we did start on the outside.
Well, I mean, yeah, the roof is done, the choke pointing is done, but like beautifying the front, that's not a priority just because it's in good solid shape besides the mansard roof. That's really the only outside thing left that we have.
We have a guy.
Windows, so.
We have a guy hired to do the mansard roof, do all the really ornate woodworking. He's like one of the best around, and he's actually going to build all the stuff on Mr. Holland or the Holland Brown equipment. So we just have to wait for him to become available. He does a lot of projects here and a lot of the nicer, especially Second Empire houses around. He's done all of it. Like, he's amazing, but I have to wait for him to come available, which will be around October.
And then she said, "Have you figured out the colors for the outside of the house?" Yeah. So these colors up here, this cream color is a little bit more green than we're going to go for the house. We're going to do a little bit more yellowy. The lighter color is going to be similar to what we're going to do. And then we're going to do the detail work in a green like this. So similar, not just like that. Probably more, maybe the dark green will be similar, but the lighter green will definitely be like more on like the softer yellow kind of side, maybe.
I think it should be really light, probably.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure yet.
Yeah, we'll get there. Are you going to use drywall or Blueboard and skim coat? Lance Thacker says.
Where there's plaster right now, for the most part, that's just getting patched or it's getting replastered, the missing areas. Certain rooms, like the library, is probably going to get a drywall ceiling. The maid's room is definitely getting a drywall ceiling, and that maid's hall is probably getting a drywall ceiling. And the third floor is probably getting a drywall ceiling. The hall downstairs maybe, but for the most part, I'm going to try to keep that intact. The bathrooms, because plaster doesn't handle moisture super duper well, even though it has actually done okay in those bathrooms, those are getting all removed, and I'm going to put green drywall whatever the mold resistant drywall stuff up in those areas, but then it's going to get covered in other stuff. So
Evangelia Murgia says, where are the questions that they're answering? I haven't seen any of them in the chat, and I'm new to live sessions on YouTube. Sorry, our answers are not, like real quick ones. So we're 30 minutes behind right now on answering questions. So sorry about that. Kaz Body said, I saw the empty lot on Google Maps. Is that your property too?
No. I'm working on it though. Trying really hard to get that lot.
I'm also from California. It's great to see these two help St. Louis at least be in the process of becoming safer and a greater community overall. Matthew Richards says, yeah, hopefully that's the hope. Catter Girl from STL, do you know about the place near 55 and Broadway? Yeah, Junk, we go there. We definitely go there. Sorry, I'm trying to get going here. Do you have any idea where the mantelpieces went, or if they were in the situ when the tile guy came and took out the surrounds?
I don't think, well, who knows exactly who took them out of the house. I'm not sure. The guy who had our tiles bought them off a guy off Craigslist. He didn't buy them from the property. Mm-hmm. He just asked because he's really conscious about history where they came from. So
Kathy Finley says the basement would be a cool museum of Mr. Brown's business equipment. That's a cool idea.
Well, that's I'm hoping. And actually, if all works out this weekend, I might be bringing home my first piece of that. Potentially.
Benjamin Doberman said, how did you find the house? We answered that closer to the beginning. This will be up on the channel later. So if you want to, skip around.
Google Maps.
Google Maps.
Part of the answer.
Evangelia Murgia says, is that lamp behind you a lady? Yes, it is a lady. It's a resin cast, though, and she's a little bit broken. So,
her name is Commerce. Or at least I don't know. That's the little plate at the bottom.
The Conqueror 1812 says, will you get a radio or a gramophone for the parlor?
I want a gramophone for the parlor really bad, but I want a really big horn.
Yeah, there's a really cool antique mall. Well, there's a couple of really cool antique malls by us, but one time we went to one and we saw quite a few gramophones, and we were like, this one, no, that one. These were all really cool, but none of them had the big horn. So
thing is, they're not they're like barely Victorian, just barely. They're more Edwardian, really. But you can make an exception here and there, and they're really cool. So yeah, definitely.
Vita Sibursky says, are you in a landmark area where the house is, or is the house a landmark? It is on the historic register.
It's a contributing structure to a historic district.
There you go. Leslie Montero says, do you have planned to have cool art in your home? Yeah, I just showed some of the stuff that we have. Caleb's also an artist, so maybe in our spaces, maybe my craft room, the maid's room, my craft room, or our third floor will have some of his stuff displayed, or some of the cool art that he has purchased over the years. So
a fairly large collection of art, but they're all modern artists.
Yeah.
Like when I lived in LA, I lived in a studio gallery thing with 15, 16 other people for a long time, for like 8 or 9, or about 8 years. And so I met a lot of artists because they all flocked to this place. And so we traded art and everything else. And so, yeah, I have a lot of it, but none of it is Victorian.
Linda R says, what do you both do for work? I'm a server at a restaurant. Luckily, I have the weekends off to work on the house. That's really cool.
I work in reality TV. I do casting editing. So nothing you guys will ever see on TV, but they...
Yeah, just the little casting videos where people get interviewed, and then he'll...
Yeah, I help put you on the show.
Yeah, that's exactly. Hannah Clevenger says, does the house have anything regional or distinctly St. Louis that you've found so far?
I think the way we did like the stone front Second Empires, you don't see a lot of them in any other areas. And some elements that are slightly like Italianate. I know that's a combo style here for St. Louis, especially with Lafayette Square. So I would say those are definitely not. I haven't found very many fleur-de-lis yet, so. No. But I guess New Orleans can claim that too.
Yeah. Shanann Spieth says, I heard you say it's worth it. Is it? Is it a money pit? Are you planning something else for income in the future to fund it?
I mean, I guess as much as money pit as anything.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I mean, yeah, you're going to continually have to re-up and redo things, but simply put, it was a $65,000 house that I'll probably have to put, maybe $300,000 into, and then, a few thousand every year, to maintain and redo and do this and do that. But yeah, all houses are money pits, but they're also huge, depositories of equity and wealth as well. So, depends. If the neighborhood goes up, then I actually stand to have quite a bit of equity if I need to borrow for anything else as well.
Yeah, because this will be our forever home.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm buying when the neighborhood's depressed. It's on the upswing now, but buy low, sell high, I guess. But no, I'm not selling it. Not saying that I'm selling it.
Mountain Mist 868 says, do you plan on replacing Newell Post soon? Or you want somebody to build that, yeah?
Yeah, it's the same guy, Eric.
Oh, Eric.
The same guy that's doing the Mansard, and we'll be doing the Newell Post at some point. However, I am trying to wait until I can find photos, because if I can find a photo of it, I have already bought and installed a piece. Well, that piece is getting replaced with the one that should have been there. So, I prefer to have it made. I know I'll salvage stuff all day for most other elements, but there's certain elements I do want that would be exact to what it was back in the day. So that's one of them.
The Conqueror 1812, sorry, I keep bumping out my foot, says, will you be getting original towel warmers for the bathrooms? You mean radiators? Yeah.
There's already a radiator in that bathroom.
Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, there's radiators, so that'll be our towel warmer. Esbro Callie says, do you see yourself keeping the house forever? Yeah, definitely.
I have already planned my Victorian funeral in the parlor.
Does St. Louis have a historic preservation society?
Yes.
If no, have you considered starting one? Jennifer Garrett says, yeah, we have one. So, and you said
I don't have the time to run a society like that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, of course, St. Louis is a pretty old city, so.
You know what? Somebody was saying, what do you plan to do at the Basin? I don't know how I forgot about this. I want to start a senior dog rescue at some point. I don't think the basement will work for that, but maybe if we can get some of the land next door, maybe we could build like an outbuilding. But
I think you'd have to go further out.
But dogs are like my whole heart. So I feel like, all those senior dogs that can't get adopted, I just kind of want to have a sanctuary for them and take care of them for the rest of their time.
Basically, it means we're going to have to buy some land further out at some point.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something that's really, really pretty important to me to do at some point in my life. So Mighty Wolf says, what are you planning on doing for the maids hall? Drywall to ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, fix what I need to be fixed. What needs to be fixed and put it back
strip
together.
the paint on
the rails and the newel post and the beadboard.
Do you know about the place over on Lafayette Avenue, just off of Jefferson? We've never been able to go in there, have we?
That guy, he holds odd hours, even odder.
We've driven up there probably 3 or 4 times, and you can't. It's not
a little rude to us here and there too. So I'm like, you know what? There's other places in the city.
Yeah, refab and junk.
Although at some point I will get in there and buy a Louis Sullivan tile, one of his terracotta bricks, because I want one bad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I was like, oh boy, what was that? Who's the person peeking in the corner back? You mean this little girl?
Oh, yeah.
She's just a friend. What is your day job? Yeah, we just answered that. How do you know how to do all this restoration and construction stuff? Hannah Hopkins says.
Well, a few different ways. I started with this place, and while there wasn't a whole lot of restoration happening upstairs, here there's actually been quite a bit. With the original 10 ceiling, we have some of the original cabinets in here from. This used to be a pharmacy way back in the day. So, and I've fixed up quite a bit of that. More than that, like I've always just been interested in old things, so like I've done like bits of woodworking, like French polishing techniques and learning how to, I don't know. I've learned a lot of things just by doing. My father was a carpenter, so I grew up learning how to build things. So, all the framing and all that stuff I know how to do because of him. And yeah, I like doing, so I figure things out.
Let's see. BB Frankie says, being from Missouri, I've been to St. Louis several times. Unfortunately, a lot of these properties are in depressed and dangerous neighborhoods. What's your assessment of the neighborhood?
Neighborhood's on the upswing. The NGA is coming in. I don't think St. Louis is going to let their single largest investment ever fall into disrepair or be so dangerous that people are afraid to work there. That and the way that neighborhood is currently, there are so few residents in the neighborhood that there isn't anything.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've been working there after dark, not in the middle of the night or anything, but besides feeling a little creeped out myself by the house, I don't really feel unsafe there at all. So, not like creeped out.
You want to feel creeped out. That's what it is.
I do. I get in my head and I'm like, what was that?
You make yourself scared.
Old Radios 90 says, have you seen the house on 1501 Palm Street? They were apparently supposed to have restored that, but it never happened.
Oh, it's further north.
No,
I haven't. Is that? I'm assuming that's in Hyde Park. Keep that address somewhere because I'll have to look that up afterwards.
Do we have a pen?
I'll find it in the comments later. I'll have a look.
Yeah.
Thanks for the heads up, though.
I don't know what that means. Dale Strauss says, my wife and I would love to metal detect your property. We have extra detectors that you could use.
It'd be kind of fun.
Hit us up on the Instagram, please. That sounds awesome.
I'd be with it, but if you find anything like Holland Brown related, I would be like, I don't care if you find all coins or anything. That's all yours.
Oh, Kate Cooper says, I've already been beaten to most of the questions I was going to ask. So what are the names of the cats and dogs? So Caleb's dad's dogs that are in here. The husky one, if you saw some of his face, his name is Kodak. We call him Cody. And then the more gray one, she's also a husky mix. Her name is Aspen. And then our dogs back in our house are.
I'll save the reveal for later. They can see them later.
Okay, we'll show you the pets sometime. But our dogs are. We have a husky German Shepherd mix named Atlas, a Basset Hound. He's apparently a Basset Hound Mastiff and then other stuff mix. Those are the two main ones. But he looks like a lab and a dachshund had a puppy. His name is Max. And then Otis is my little beagle boy. He's a little beagle mix. He's orange. He's really cute. And then my cat is Hank. So, well, I've had Hank since I was 18. Like, that's my first baby. So I always say my cat, but he really loves Katie. And we've been together for some years now. So that's your kitty. Stephen Miller says, I so enjoy your lovely home. I live in a beautiful old 1870 home in Cincinnati, Ohio. When are you all moving in? Dude, Cincinnati's the coolest. Love Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati's really great.
Really cool.
I'm hoping maybe sometime around, this is going to surprise some people, I'm hoping to move in around maybe March, April-ish. That's why I'm working on that back area with the maid's hall.
Yeah.
Is because that's kind of sealed off from the rest of the house. And so if I can get those few rooms going with the bathroom, have a kind of a small, tiny little kitchen in the maid's room itself, and then sleep and use the library as a bedroom for the moment. Mm-hmm. Well, that frees up a lot of time, because then if I'm done with work, I can immediately go and work on the building, where now it's like I have to go up there, heat the place up, get all the lights going. I can work for an hour and then I'm done. So like now it just frees up. A lot of things can start happening then. I'm hoping as soon as we can move in, I can start doing 2 videos a week as well, because I have more content. I have more time to work.
Rachel Perry says, concerned about safety of the neighborhood. Do you know of many others renovating in the area?
There are actually, there's about 5 going on at the moment. Spiders are every day redoing the streets. City of St. Louis is doing stuff up there all the time. I've seen, I think, 3 crews of tuck pointers in the last few months up there. I've seen 3 new roofs go on. And then like the few people across the street from us, I mean, they're outside always playing like catch with their kids and hanging out. All their houses are nice.
Yeah, all the houses across the street are real nice.
They're just really kept up. Mm-hmm. Like they care.
Yeah, even the apartment building. I think there's 1 or 2 apartments across the street, like 4 families. They look great.
The thing is, like, here's the thing: I have some of like the city guys who come in and they're doing work on things, or other contractors like, oh yeah, this area, yeah, they're all talking. This area is about to blow up, isn't it? And when you have contractors who live out in the county starting to say that, yeah. Good luck buying a house now. You're not going to be able to. It's going to be rough.
Steve Shabino says, do you know anything about where the missing fireplaces, Noel Post, etc. ended up? Nope. No idea. No idea.
I wish I knew.
And we don't even know what they look like, so we can't even be on the lookout for them. Like, in particular, we're looking out for things that we like at all times, but we don't know exactly what they look like.
If I found the originals, I would pay an exorbitant amount for them.
Yeah.
Just to have them back.
Laura 55987 says, I love St. Louis, such a unique area. How close are you to the Italian Hill, and what happened to the mantles? Mantles were stolen. I think the house is probably about maybe 20 minutes from the hill. I actually work on the hill. So
yeah, other side of the city.
Yeah. So I'm super excited though, because the house is so close to all the highways. Like 70's right there, and then if you get on 70 heading to downtown, it takes like literally 1 minute. You can go 55 northeast to Illinois. You can go on 44 south, 55 south. You can get off of the highway and jump on 64. So like literally we can get anywhere really quickly. So it'd probably take me 15, 20 minutes to get to work over on the hill, and they're putting in a Starbucks on the way. So I'm super excited about that. Can't break my Starbucks addiction. GN 2020 says, what is NGA? It's the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. It's an Air Force installation who does mapping, satellites, drone type stuff.
If you just type in NGA St. Louis, you'll get a lot of things popped up.
Christopher Morris is going to use Victorian style push button light switches. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Obviously, modern recreations, but yes.
Espro Cali says, if the water pipes had lead, do you have to worry about the gas lines having lead?
No, I mean, they're not. I guess it wouldn't really matter anyways, but no, they're not lead.
Steve Shabino says, what were the original floorings in the rooms that now just have pine?
I'm almost positive they would have been carpet.
Yeah, carpet probably on the second floor.
Yeah, I'm almost positive.
And then the third floor with the pine, I do believe that was always exposed. Don't you think it's nice? It's finished nicely, except in some places where it's worn.
Who knows?
But there are places on the third floor where the boards all kind of go in a line and they stop and they've got nails in them and stuff. And like, I think it still looks cool the way it is. So we're just probably going to just refinish those. And
the only way to know is if I go up there with a little bit of rubbing alcohol or denatured alcohol or mineral spirits and I wipe the floor up there. If it comes off really easy, it's shellac and it's probably close to original. If it doesn't, it's probably polyurethane and it's definitely not original. Doesn't matter up there anyway, so.
Deanna Marie says, you are such a cute couple. That's really sweet. We appreciate that. I think so too. Anna Marie says, are you going to replaster or replace with drywall? That depends on how bad the situation is.
There's certain sections that are going to end up being drywall, but any of like the parlors, the front staircase, like the medallions, all that stuff, it all stays. It's all going to be plaster. The dining room is going to be plaster.
This is
like the kitchen is going to end up being plaster or drywall. So there's certain rooms. Well, it's case by case basis essentially. But I'm trying to keep as much original plaster as humanly possible. But I still have to open up walls for services and everything else. So.
Okay. Are you planning on having painting? Leslie Montero says.
And having painting?
I don't know. Yes, we will have paintings in the house, and I'm sure some surfaces will be painted.
I'm going to do paintings on the ceiling for sure. That's something I want to do.
Oh, she just said a couple times. What is the third host name referring to the cute dog? So Aspen and Kodak are in here roaming around, getting in our biz every now and again.
They're friendly.
So we've got 4 hosts tonight. And Robin Braddock, sorry if I just butchered that. Did one of you have to talk the other into buying the house, or were you both immediately on board? So we had looked at houses previously. I mean, like I think pretty soon after we started dating. We've been dating for like 3.5 years. So I think pretty soon after we started dating, we started looking at, he was already looking at, wanting to get another building. After this one was kind of done, we finished it together, and then we looked at a couple, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. This seems like a lot. Even though we'd already done this. And then we went and saw that house, and I was just like, I want this house. And he was like, tone it down. We don't want him to raise the price. So yeah, this one we were both on board with immediately. So I was like, you're right. I'll tone it down. Scott Sipe says, are your pocket doors hung with overhead tracks or in the floor?
They're in the floor. So they're on wheels there. And that's actually why 2 of them are seized, is because somebody's ripped the track out from underneath them. So I'm assuming maybe I could just jam like, I don't know, a V-shaped piece of metal in there, and maybe they'll move again. They wiggle a little bit. They just won't roll.
The artistic flavor says, let's do a Q&A with the dog. I'm sure at some point we'll get our babies, our boys. All of our pets are boys. We'll probably have our boys in, especially once we're in the house and we have internet and stuff there. I'm sure you'll be seeing them. Absolutely. Where will the laundry room be? Deanna Marie says.
I'm actually considering maybe doing 2, one in the basement, one on the 3rd floor.
Yeah,
but the main one will probably be on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, there's already pipes run in the basement for them. But since it's a 3-floor house and we're going to be living ourselves, in our master bedroom on the 3rd floor, then there should be space in the master bathroom that we put up there to put in a stacking washer and dryer.
It just makes the most sense because that's a lot of stairs to climb to go do laundry.
And if we do the Airbnb or we have guests over, it would just make sense to have 2 sets. So, love the history. I live in NJ, New Jersey, and we'll look more into the history of Brown's Mills. Cool.
Yeah, let us know what you find.
Yeah, definitely. Ruth Godfrey says, have you found any secret rooms or hidden items in the home? No.
Not really. Not Chippy.
Yeah. Chippy fell out of the ceiling. That was a very exciting day. We were like, what is that? It's a mummified squirrel. Have you found any treasures? Nope, besides Chippy. No. What time is it where you all are at? Well, when you asked that, Leslie Montero, it was 8:47. It is now 9:17. Sorry, we are still half an hour behind. Eventually, are you planning on opening this place for tours like the Winchester Mystery House, Espro
Yeah.
Cali?
Definitely. That's actually the reason I started the YouTube channel, is just because I wanted to show the building off.
Yeah.
It's too pretty not to. That, and I hope to inspire some of you guys to take on projects like this yourselves. Like, it's worth preserving.
Show us the dogs. We want to see them. Well, you saw Aspen here a second ago, so maybe when Kodak comes back around, extreme more to him. How long do you believe this will take? How much do you think it will end up costing? If we live in STL, can we come visit sometime? Rachel Perry asks.
Yeah, welcome to come visit once I have it more together. The costs somewhere around $300,000, a little over that, including the purchase price, which was $65K. I think it'll probably take between 3 to 5 years. I'm in the process of actually getting a loan right now for the place, but it's a 2-year loan, so I have to have it somewhat done in 2 years, like, you know, good enough for the bank sort of thing. So, yeah, it'll have to be done. But as far as the pretty stuff, that stuff will take longer.
Catter Girl says we have an 1890s house and patch, some of the same woodwork. Hey, cool. Patch is a cool area. It's not too far from us.
Nope.
Jim Holmes said Haunted Mansion. You know it. Do you plan on getting that console radio in the room the pump organ is in restored? We actually, when we did our giveaway days when we first got the house, and there was just tons of stuff, and we were like, somebody please come get this stuff. Just come, please take stuff. Somebody was actually going to take that, and then they didn't show back up. So
yeah, you want it?
Yeah, you want it? Come get it. Did you guys try to sleep in the house? Anisha Santos says.
I have. I've slept there one night.
Yeah, and he was not having a good time.
No, because it was cold.
Cold, yeah. And I get cold, so you couldn't have paid me to do it.
That, and I forgot a pillow, and I ended up sleeping on a bag of rags.
And somebody used my cushion from my favorite chair in my house, and now it's sitting on the floor, and I don't even know. I got to clean it off.
Pick it up.
I got to clean it off. Is the lot next door for sale? How much? Rusty Neil Mendelson.
We don't know yet. I've tried to contact that owner. I believe, he used to own the house. I think he's bitter about losing it, so he doesn't like to return phone calls or anything. So we'll see how that goes.
Not Sleepy says, when you have your open house, only period clothing allowed. You going to make it? You going to make it for us? We'll buy it.
I'll work on that.
Yeah.
The house will be dressed accordingly. I don't know about myself.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know, because I feel like in the picture of the house with the people, with the original family out front, the mother in particular, I thought her dress would be prettier. It's very plain, very meh. I think if I had to get a Victorian dress, you know, for the house or whatever, it would be more interesting, definitely.
But you don't know the colors.
It's dark, and it has like a little bib on it that's like lighter color.
I think you're thinking about the maid.
No, it's right here.
Well, don't pull it up. Keep going with questions. We're 30 minutes.
Okay, well, I want to fight, okay? Are the houses to the left of you occupied? Are you concerned about someone getting in there if they are abandoned?
No, the one next to us, actually, the lady's really nice.
She has security cameras. So
her building's been muddled to hell, but it really, she's very sweet. And she actually does watch our house because she has security cameras. So anytime anybody comes out there, she goes and talks to them, tries to figure out who they are. I know because she did that to us for a few times, trying to figure out who we were. No, but she's super nice. And then we actually do have a security system as well. Everything's always locked up. So there's a security system. It's locked up.
Neighbors on the lookout. You know, they know our cars that are there, and I think that they come out and take a peek if it's not us, or they would. So. Laura 55987 said, what happened to the twin of your house?
I was told it was turned into a boarding house and was torn down sometime in the 90s, mid-90s.
Eric Drumheller said, what do you do for work? I'm a server. Caleb edits for casting videos. BB Frankie says, please be safe, though. That area is very sketchy. I hope your work on that beautiful home catches on in that area. It's actually not that sketchy. It's not bad. It's a little sketchy.
It was until somewhat recently sketchy, but it's really not anymore. Yeah, the people that drive through might be a little sketchy. That's probably the bigger problem. The people that live there, they're really nice people.
Okay. Shenanspee says that bubble girl is not creepy. I have a 50s one like that of my mom. I mean, I like it, but that's kind of like the thing is, creepy children, people like to say. I mean, I don't particularly find it creepy, but that's what people like to say. So,
she just likes the haunted mansion aesthetic. So
yeah, that's
the house won't be
basically
all going that. She gets to put those in some places.
everywhere. Mirrors are often haunted. We have a couple furniture pieces that we'll show you at some point. That they're Eastlake, and they have like a dresser and then a mirror on it, but they're kind of small, so we might use them like in hallways. But the mirrors are like really deteriorated. I can't show it to you right now; it's just kind of hidden. It's big, but they've got like cracking in them and stuff. And I think that those are definitely haunted.
It's the old silver solution or whatever coming off the back.
Silver solution coming off the back. Cool. They look really creepy, and I love them. If the house isn't haunted, the art can be. Sherry says, yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, it works. People are still gonna think it's haunted anyways.
Anisha Santos says the house looks warm, not dark or something. Yeah, it definitely feels like that too.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Erin Marie, how long are you thinking it will take to make the house livable? How long do you think it will take to complete the house? Well, we're going to live in it really
It depends
soon.
on what you mean by livable.
Yeah.
Because I have a pretty low standard for what that means. Essentially,
if there's running water,
yeah, if there's
and
power and electric and no internet. I just need those things.
Yeah. Did the former most recent owner know what happened to the newel post and fireplaces?
He said an owner before him had stolen it. So, but who's to say?
Ghost Brown, somebody says. Possibly.
Well, he didn't die in the house.
The original owner, Charles S. Brown, did not die in the house. His son, Charles Jr. did. And what was Mr. Yenneman's name? Joseph?
Yeah, Joseph Yenneman.
Joseph Yenneman did pass away in
wife.
the house. And I didn't know that. Anisha, did you already try to sleep in the house? How was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cold.
It was, I mean, the house itself is fine. It was really nice hanging out and having a beer with my friends in the parlor for the first time. That was nice.
Janet Nellis. Sorry, I'm getting back to this again so late. Thanks for answering my questions. I was talking about the beautifying of the outside. That's what I thought too. I thought you were talking about the beautifying, not like the roof and the tuck pointing. But yeah, that'll probably be pretty well close to last, is like getting the front pretty, because it's solid. It's solid. It just needs to be scraped and painted and all that. So
don't expect a whole lot of beautifying anywhere for a minute, just because everything's about getting it back to a structural point where everything's secure and safe. We're not dealing with any bad chemicals or anything going on. No asbestos floating around anymore. Then pretty stuff.
We're getting caught up. We're only 25 minutes behind. Not even a little says, hi, I've been watching since the start. I want you both to make sure to wear breathing protection against lead paint, dust, and dirt. Also, did you ever get them to fix the new part of the flat roof? They're going to get on that soon. We do wear respirators whenever we're kicking up dust and scraping and whatnot. So
yeah, just the last episode is just
we were just putting floor in. Yeah. So Raquel Burt says, hi from Brazil. I don't know if you already answered, but maybe we're going to see some stuff from Star Wars in the decoration. Probably not. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I mean, I have Star Wars shirts and whatnot. I don't really own any items Star Wars. Maybe like a little Funko Pop guy, but nothing too crazy. So
simply put, it was a good play on words more than it was anything. I like Star Wars. But I'm not super duper nutty about it. Yeah. Also, copyright. You can't be messed with that too much. We're already kind of close to it, so.
Okay. Anisha Santos says, how much did you already spend so far? What about, you said about 80?
Yeah, about 80, 85.
Mm-hmm. Have you gotten an estimate on how much your house would be worth based on current value versus how much it would be worth based on your reasonably planned improvements? Bailey M says.
I believe it's worth about $425,000 when it's done. 465,000.
That's with a 5-mile radius, and they do that for historic homes only.
So because it's a historic home, it's within a certain radius of other historic homes. It'd be worth about that much. So there's a weird thing the banks have to do, and that's what they say. So.
Espro Cali says, does this part of St. Louis get snow? Yeah, we had a few inches of snow last week, and that was the only snow we've gotten so far this winter.
Any inches?
Yeah, I think it was like 2 inches. When I was outside with the dogs, I saw on the patio furniture it was like this. So
It
maybe
depends
an inch
on
and a half.
it depends on the year, and it also gets really hot and humid during the summer.
Mhm.
So we're a northern city in the winter and a southern city in the summer.
GN 2020 says, "What about stripping the doors upstairs?"
They're gonna come off. All
Yeah,
the paint's gonna
the
come
paint's
off.
gonna come off. So what's the plan for the roof? Momo Domo says. Well, Mansard, we have to wait until the person who's going to do the work is available to do the work. Flat roof, they're supposed to fix it very soon.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. He's supposed to be making some flashings because it didn't flash anything.
Yeah, no,
Which
it's
is
just
great.
stuck on there and just going wherever. Aaron McGill says, "Are you guys from St. Louis? How do you like it as a city?" I am not originally from here. I'm originally from outside of LA, but I moved here when I was 10. So I mean, I do say that I'm from here, but I wasn't born here. So
I mean, I'm from here. I mean, I'm from further out, but yeah, I'm from here, and I've been like all over the place, from Tokyo to Germany to LA. I lived for a long time. I love it here. This is home. Like the weather's not great. I do wish the weather was better, but other than that, really, like it's nice. People are really kind. There's a lot of hardworking people here. There's a lot of really awesome things you can't find anywhere else. The food is great. I mean, City Museum is great.
yeah, and LA people. I spent a month in LA at the end of 2018. LA people are really weird and just different than here.
I just don't like the whole mentality that a lot of people have in certain parts of the world of, oh, you're from the flyover states. Oh, is it like Kansas? No, come on, dude.
Yeah, so just
Even
stuff
Kansas
like that.
isn't that bad. Calm down.
But yeah, how do you like it as a city? I love St. Louis. I love living here.
It's actually bigger than you think, too.
Yeah. Have you found any artifacts in the walls or other hidden spaces, Mark Gedemeyer? No, just Chippy.
Square nails.
Just Chippy. What program are you using to do the time lapse sequences? Motive Alloy says it's just the camera. Yeah?
It's an Insta360 1-inch mod camera. It's like a GoPro essentially, but a different brand. And I set it as a time lapse, so I can't control how fast or slow it goes. What I shoot is what you get.
Dennis Burnside says, "Did you win your hockey game?"
That one? No.
I think he was up against some better dudes. Yeah.
Oh, it's the fact that they did the team that they brought with me wasn't very good.
Yeah, he didn't have any defense. I'm really curious. How does one steal an entire mantle? Hannah Hopkins says the front doors are massive, and it's kind of dead up there, for the most part. So if they were moving out, if they got foreclosed on and they're moving out, just taking some stuff with them, there's the mantle.
I guess technically at the time he might have still had some legal right to it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, I guess you can take whatever you want out of your house. Oof.
Not attached.
Okay, have you guys thought about what you might do with the basement?
I have ideas. Like I kind of want to put a little bar down there, but I think for the moment I'll probably just end up storing a lot of the machinery I pick up, the Holland Brown machinery, because I plan on buying quite a bit of it.
Do you know when and why the duplicate house next door was raised? Motive Alloy.
It turned into a bit of a slum from what I hear. It was a dorm or boarding house, and I heard not nice people were living there, and they tore it down in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Cool. How much tuck pointing do you need? How much do you expect to spend on that? Bailey M says.
Well, actually, I think it was 20 something. 19. So it was 19,000, and both the two of the sides already done. I expect to probably have another 7,000 on the other side next year. So.
James Whitman says, would you want or be able to register the house on the National Historic Registry?
I mean, I don't necessarily know what comes along with that, or if it's something they would necessarily consider, because, like, albeit it's a fantastic, beautiful home, but does it have enough significance to become a historic place? I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't even know what that entails. I have no idea.
501 Rivet says, does your home have butler/maid call buttons on the walls?
No, not that I've seen. There's one really weird little piece on the third floor that I'm not exactly sure what it is. It looks like something you would speak into, but I'm not 100% sure. Like, that's just a wild guess. I can't see where it would have led to. So
I don't know, but that's the only thing I've seen. I haven't seen any like the cables or cords for bells or any of that stuff. And there's only ever one made when it was originally built anyways. Her name was Katie Hemminghouse. So I don't know. It seemed like a one girl show essentially. I mean, maybe there was a nanny that came over, but she didn't live there. So
Mighty Wolf says, I know this question will be extra, but will you have a maid/butler?
no.
No, I'm the maid. We might hire a house cleaner like every 2 weeks or something because it is a big house. So.
Well, and especially if I have you guys, or if we do more of the Airbnb thing, or bread and breakfast, whatever. I know I said that wrong, but if we end up doing that stuff, then I might hire somebody to help clean those rooms. It is a rather large house, and because one of my dogs is a husky, there's a lot of fur. So, you know.
Yeah.
At least he's a really good boy.
He's a good boy. But for the most part, I think if we do the Airbnb, I've usually got some downtime every day, so I'll be able to clean them up. So I don't think that'll be too big of a deal. Just probably the house cleaner every 2 weeks or something, just to do the baseline stuff. Stephen Miller says, I don't like the word haunted, so I like to say visited, LOL. Do you feel like your home is visited by spirits? P.S. I just adore you. All your videos are the highlight of my week. That makes me so happy.
Visited, haunted. I mean, I still don't think so, but I will say that when I'm there alone, I will talk to the ghosts.
Hey, even this past weekend, you were talking to them when I was there.
I talk to them all the time, but it's more like talking to myself, but I'll just pretend they're there.
Yeah.
Hey, if anything, if there are ghosts there, they know I mean well. So
Espro Cavalier says, does your part of reality TV have long hours?
Yeah, it's I don't care what you do production-wise in television, you will work long hours. So it is nice to make LA pay here in Missouri, but it's still production. Production's still rough. I've been working in production for a very long time. Yeah.
And it's hard when our house is so small and basically our living room is also his office. You know, he's always at work. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard.
I'm gonna go to work right after this.
Yeah, as soon as you're done here, he's gonna go back working. How did you go about saving and researching to start this project? Buy an Old Victorian Home. Tora no Hinata said.
I actually how I was able to, well, I had been saving for a while because I was looking for something, another project, because this place was wrapping up. So I've been saving for a little bit anyways, probably 6 or 7 months. But over than that, I used actually the equity that I put into this place. So, you know, sweat equity that I got into this place to refinance this one, cash out, refi it, and bought the other place. That's how I did it. That's how I got going over there. Plus took the money that I had been saving and then invested that over there. So right now I'm basically, I don't have a huge amount on my account, but enough to still keep going for a bit. And then I'm working on getting a loan, a construction loan, to help finish some of the things out, like systems and stuff in the house.
Sherry Gorse said, did the house originally have indoor plumbing?
Yes. Although I think there was only 1 bathroom, maybe 2 if you count one in the basement, maybe.
Insomnia Production said, what do other houses in the neighborhood look like? Do they have a similar story or history as the Brown house?
Well, I know there's one house in the corner that was been the Sheehan Mansion, and I know there were brothers who did a lot of stuff, built a lot of canals and stuff, especially I think around like Cincinnati, if I'm correct. They did some really big earthen works, and I think there's a huge history to them. But yes, I mean, the first kindergarten started in our neighborhood. There was a lot of Germans, a lot of Irish up there. There's huge amounts of history. I mean, if you go to the cemetery, Bell Fountain and Calvary, the amount of people you will find up there in history books is insane. It's really amazing. So, yeah, there's a lot of stories up there. Problem is not a huge amount of it is left. So, you know, you have to pick up the pieces, and this is just a piece that happened to be left that was well cared for. So,
Cynical Buddha says, did you get the heat working?
No, I'm waiting on the gas company in town. They're currently digging up and trenching through and fixing some things. So,
yeah, and we have an indoor-outdoor kerosene heater to keep us nice and toasty when we have kerosene. It's been kind of hard to come by here lately, but I just found 20 gallons. Well, I found more than that, but I got as much as I could get, 20 gallons of it. So we should be heated for the next couple weekends. And we will not be working on Sunday. It's supposed to be, what, 10 degrees is the high? And that's when Caleb's road trip is, and I'm going to go to my mom's house. So, no work that day, thank goodness. It would still be freezing in the house. Laura Oldman says, Caleb, let us believe these things are haunted. Yeah, I agree.
You're welcome to think it. I'm just saying I don't.
Yeah, he's
You think what
like
you want to think.
95% non-believer, skeptic. What if you move in and start experiencing paranormal activity? Will you still live there? Nat Nintendo.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm open to that kind of stuff. I think if I saw a ghost, as long as it's not trying to hurt me or anything, which I don't really know if that's a possibility. Anyways, I'd just be like, hey, I guess you used to live here. Welcome. I live here now. Let's be friends. I love your time-lapse posts. Any more projects lined up for that? Eileen Worth says. Yeah, every weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's the easiest thing to set up and forget it because, like, when you're trying to get something done, I don't want to be picking up the camera and talking to it and explaining exactly what I'm doing. That's why you guys see so much time lapses because it's easier just put the camera, screw it on a poster, put it on a wall, and set it and forget
work.
Just go. So,
how much did the house cost to build? 501 Rivet says. Was it 65?
No,
it was 8,000.
It was 8,000.
The house next door that was the other owner of the company, Mr. Hall, his house was 6,500.
No, that was in 1890
mm-hmm.
or 1889.
Motive Alloy says, is there insulation in the walls and will you be adding spray foam or similar?
Not in every wall. I mean, most of the plaster on the exterior walls is just straight against the brick, and I'm not furring those out, mostly for the reason I'm not destroying any of the amazing plaster. It's in no way. I'll live with it. But the brick walls are so thick that they actually are fairly insulated. In between the rooms, I might throw some insulation in here and there. But again, some of the more grand rooms aren't going to get that treatment because I'm just not going to mess with the plaster. It's not worth it. Actually, the ceilings, they're all actually insulated. They have the old rock wool in some of the areas.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But again, I'm not even trying to disturb that. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, no, too much work. Alex Clark says, how's the floors coming along with the wood floors you're fixing thus far?
I mean, what you see is what's happened, really. I haven't been back up there since the video. I mean, I edit these things, and basically you guys get them that the Sunday is the last day I'm up there. You guys get it on Monday. So basically I edit that night, and you guys get it immediately. So you guys are always up to date. I'm not withholding anything. I haven't shot any extra footage. You got what I did that week.
Ryan Tyson says, this has probably been asked before, so please forgive me. Are you guys living in the house, or is it not livable yet?
It's not quite livable yet. Hoping soon. Just power and electrical, which should start maybe in a week or two. And they'll go ahead and basically, as those are done, then I can start putting new drywall in, and that won't take very long.
Bailey M said, just an idea. Perhaps if you plan to have some of the basement unfinished, you could ask a local artist to come paint a historical mural on the walls. This is the local artist. The local artist right there.
So now I'm going to keep getting asked a question.
Oh, yeah. He's going to bring over a piece.
And since they're sitting over here.
Oh, some of your oil?
Yeah, there's stencil up there too.
Just to prove to you guys that, I can actually paint. It's all glary. Well, I mean, you get the gist, right?
This one. Beautiful.
But so, I can, I'll be doing some other things, and I'm actually pretty good with a spray can as well. I did a lot of, not illegal, but I did a lot of graffiti growing up as a kid and stuff like that. Did a lot of murals and stuff. So,
yeah. And we have a graffiti wall here down by the river. So you can just graffiti on it. That's what it's for. So, Evan J says, LOL, I don't like visited. I prefer guested.
Guested.
Heard. How did you buy the house? French Martini says, was it a foreclosure, tax collector sale, probate sale?
I don't exactly know how to answer that because I'm not exactly sure what
we're not
that all
real
means.
estate experts.
I bought it off a guy's normal sale.
Yeah, normal sale.
For sale from a by owner.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bailey M says, how far from the Katy Trail are you? Have you considered accommodating bikers at the beginning or end of their Katy Trail journey?
Where does that end?
I don't know where that ends.
Does it end in
I've
St.
ridden
Louis?
it. I don't know. Let me look because my mom's house where I grew up is actually right by the Katy Trail, like literally right by it. So
St. Charles, isn't it?
There's part of it up there.
yes,
Yeah, it doesn't come close to here.
I don't think so. I don't think we're close to the Katy Trail at all.
no. Let's see. Because I've ridden it from down by my mom's house all the way out to.
So that's the Alton.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it starts Missouri side by Alton area.
Uh,
West Alton.
Okay. Anyways, never mind. No more loans if you use GoFund 2020. Probably not. Probably not. This is our house, you know. Do y'all get paid for those type of stories?
Stories.
Yeah. I'm late to the party. What's going on with the roofer mess? They're supposed to fix it shortly.
Yeah, I talked to him on Monday, so we're hoping to get it solved.
Woo Hunter 1. Do you plan on living in the house long term? Yeah, that's our forever
Yeah,
home.
permanent. I don't want to move after this.
Yeah, no. Keep moving. Cool. I'm trying to. It looks like we're about at the end. Wow. Your art is absolutely incredible. Is it just a hobby, or do you take commissions?
I
Hannah says.
used to do it a lot more than I do right now.
Mhm.
I used to be in galleries and stuff like that, but since I moved back here, I mean, I still paint a little bit here and there, but I've been so involved with all the projects and stuff like that that building and being more of a perfectionist in this sort of stuff has taken over from my painting. So
Okay. Caleb, can we buy your artwork? OMG, it's awesome. Motive Alloy says that's really nice. Michaela Layden says, "Holy cow, great paintings." Yahira Lopez. Sorry if I butchered that. Do you ever regret buying the house? No. No.
I mean, there's always in the moment like I regret doing something the way I did it, like with the house, but never like I regret taking on the project. But I haven't even gotten to that point where I regret doing a certain thing I've done to the house. I have here. I wish I didn't move that handle or something now. Now I have to go buy a new piece and whatever, things like that.
So it looks like we've gotten to the end of the questions, but there's still 350 of y'all here. So I asked my coworkers today if they had any questions, and my coworker Liz really came through with quite a few questions. So I guess we'll just talk about those. Liz said, "What kinds of wood are in the house?" She wants to know about the flooring, the doors, and all that. We've got some pretty cool pine doors, don't we?
That's burley pine on some of the doors. I know there's some cherry. I know there's, I believe, maple, and the floors are oak. Potentially there's walnut as well. I think maybe the handrail on the stairs is walnut. It seems to be like there's a lot, like obviously downstairs there's nicer wood. I believe the doors are cherry. I don't know. Like there's so much going on. I can't remember
there's a
what
lot
it all
of different
is
wood.
at the moment.
We'll get back to those in a second. Devin Realness. Hi from Orlando. Do you prefer Disney World or Disneyland?
Disneyland.
Okay, I like Disneyland better just because it's smaller, it's easier to get around. We stayed across the street, not at a Disney hotel because they're expensive. But I quite liked just being able to like park up real quick. Really loved that. And I really like, the history of Disneyland, of course. And then California Adventure, I know did start off great, but I think it's pretty cool now. Quite liked it. But when we were there at the end of 2018, the Matterhorn bobsleds were closed. But since I lived in LA when I was a kid, I've been to Disneyland. We used to go to Knott's Berry Farm more often, but I've definitely been to Disneyland. And I remember riding those. Caleb never went to Disneyland when he lived in LA for like 8 or 9 years. So that's crazy that he never went. But we went together, and that was cool. But I really like Disney World too, just because it's like you're in that Disney bubble. You stay at a Disney hotel and you take the bus to a Disney park and you go to Disney Springs. And I think that Disney World is really cool. So I think that they both have their perks. And Disney, I don't fly. I'm scared of flying. I've flown before. I hate it. So Disney World is closer. It's 16 hours if we drove nonstop. Disneyland is 27. So, but all of my extended family still lives in LA. So, when we were there, Caleb flew to Tokyo from LA. That's why I went with him. And then I stayed there while he was in Tokyo. I was by myself and did some stuff. But yeah, and then we visited with my family too. So that was nice. It would be cool if I could fly so we could go to Disneyland more often because we both quite liked it. Chadwick J says, did you find any more of the tiles? No, I think that was the whole set. Well, I guess maybe the one we've had a couple missing. I think that they probably are just broken. So we'll have to look at some point. We just have not had any time to go to refab or anything like that to have a look, see, because the refab has a ton of different kinds of tiles. But usually we're just kind of looking around, not for any specific tiles because we weren't at that point for anything yet. So we haven't like really purchased any. So we'll be on the lookout from now on. Rescue Ranger, I've been looking at on Google Earth and noticed some significant clearing just south of y'all. Quit stalking our house. Just joking. It looks as if the whole neighborhood has been flattened. What's going on there? So that's where the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency is going to be built. NGA for short. It's a Air Force installation.
They're also putting a hospital, a smaller one up there, and they have a plan for a lot of office space. And there's talks of even putting a rugby stadium up there. Who knows where it all goes, but there's a lot of planned development, or at least a theoretical development.
Eve Solomon said, do you work with a lot of people? I do. He works.
I work at home.
Yeah, he works at home. All of his coworkers, except for one, are in LA. So, well, I guess some of them are in other states.
No, they're all over the place. There's some in Australia right now.
Oh my God. Okay. You should do a painting of the house and sell prints, t-shirts, mugs, whatever. Joshua Gray says, that's a fantabulous idea.
I've already planned on doing a painting of the house for the house anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to do one of Mr. Brown, especially the one when he was younger with his apron and stuff on. I don't know if I've showed that to you guys yet or not, but there's a really cool one of him when he was younger.
I'm sorry, I'm not even going to. Sciencinea Orande says, are you familiar with a blog called Restoring Ross, a guy who was restoring an 1890s mansion in Emporia, Kansas? All right.
Yeah, I am somewhat familiar. Like, there's a lot of people on like Instagram, and I believe he's one of them. But I believe I've been on his blog once or twice. The name rings a bell. So,
Mighty Wolf, when you're done fixing up your house, will the pets have their own room? No, I don't think so. I think what we're going to do once we get upstairs into the third floor in our master bedroom is we're going to have a king size bed. And then at the bottom of that, we're going to put, it'll be, like a normal height. We're going to do a twin size bed at the bottom lengthwise. That's a little bit lower so they can step up onto it or onto our beds. But they'll have their own bed, but they can also get into ours. What? And this one's Aspen here. I think I showed you Aspen already. It was Kodak that needed to be seen. He's laying down. Okay, Goofball. You ever get to Kansas City? I have a Queen Anne here. Lots you could share. I can relate to what you're going through. Mark Wingard says, I haven't been to Kansas City in like 10 years. How about you?
3 years.
I guess we did drive through there. We drove through on our way to LA, but that was it. So, I mean, maybe, yeah, if you want us to come check it out, I think we'd like to do that. Because I was talking about taking like a weekend little roadie trip.
You can do is take a train up there too.
Oh yeah, the train. That'd be fantastic. Great idea. But then we have to rent a car. So, but yeah, that'd be really cool once it warms up a little. Marcy Salling says, will you be using all period authentic furniture in the house?
Will it be? Yes.
Yeah. Will you be using? Yeah.
There might be some pieces that are replicas. Just simply put, sometimes the replicas are a bit cheaper. Like I see a lot of Rococo. They're called medallion couches with ovals in the center.
Mm-hmm.
And those are replicas a lot of the time, at least the nicer ones. So I might end up with one of those. But for the most part, it'll be all antique stuff. It happens to be fairly cheap at the moment to buy Victorian antiques. So except for bathrooms for whatever reason.
John Coletta says, have you two been to the Magic Shop Mansion? No, we've never been in.
I've tried to get in right now because of the COVID stuff. That lady that owns and runs it isn't really letting anybody in, and I understand that fully. Same thing with the Samuel Couples house, which is on Slew's grounds near the Fox. They're also not letting people in. I've tried there, but the Campbell House is, so that's the one I go to, and I talk to Andy, the guy who runs that, all the time. Awesome guy. Please visit the Campbell House.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, we had to wear masks when we went in there, of course. I mean, just a no-brainer. Wear a mask. But I think that they probably, like, there wasn't anybody else there when we were there, but I think that they probably limit capacity, and that's about it. Four Wheels on a Highway said, you said a vet lived in the house. How do you spell his last name? It's Yenneman, Jenn E or A? It's an E, Mann. Thank you for showing how to do a realistic restoration versus network shows. Edward says, "Yeah, right. I was watching Love It or Listed a lot for a while, and I quite like that show. But it's just like, whoop, the renovations are done, and it's like this took months. That took months. So, yeah.
I make reality TV. She watches it.
I do not watch reality TV. I would not call Love It or Listed reality TV, although it is a little. It is a little dramatic.
About Jersey Shore still.
Is it that bad to be like t-shirt time, cabs here?
Move on with the question. Do not get on that kind of tangent.
Let's see. Please paint a portrait of a mummified squirrel, Sherry says. You should totally.
You guys want chippy t-shirts? I'll make chippy t-shirts.
Yeah, Hyra Lopez said, did you decide on what wallpaper you guys are going to use?
No, those are just samples. I don't even know if the company that I got those samples from even exists.
Yeah.
It was just like the guy from the Campbell House gave it to me. This is the right era of wallpaper. Have them sort of thing. So.
Oh, James Whitman said, next time you're live on YouTube, put up super chat so we can contribute to your effort. I mean, I guess we could do that next time when we do this in 3 weeks. I mean, if you guys want to, that's all on you. We don't expect anything. So
maybe figure out how to do that. I have no idea how to do that. I barely got this operational.
Yeah, this was like, we couldn't do it last week. And then today he was setting it up and it was like, you need streaming software. And like, is YouTube not the streaming software?
No, there's other things where you can put like the chat up in the corner. And that's what they was trying to do.
I'm not. He's more technologically inclined than I am. Hi, Caleb and Kim. How can you be contacted? You are doing an amazing job on your wonderful house. Dom M says, contact Caleb on our Instagram.
Instagram's the easiest way to get a hold of me at the moment. I'll probably set up an email or something at some point, and we'll just go that way with it.
Eve Solomon said, how many ghost stories have y'all done? None. Not anything so far. Josh Wallace, what attracted you to the house? Perhaps you were there in a past life.
I mean, it was
just beautiful.
Yeah. Really, I just wanted to be in the neighborhood. I just wanted to be there. So this is just a place that I found. And from the outside, it wasn't like I liked it. It was gorgeous, right? Like a beautiful place. And so that obviously got me to want to take a look inside. And when I got to see inside, that was the real showstopper. That's why we have these houses, because how intact the interior is, the fact that it was never really screwed with. You don't have all the 70s and 80s and all this. I mean, you get a little bit of that with carpeting and stuff, but for the most part, the house was the same Victorian house it always was. So it was no brainer. We had to have this house. And we wanted to really make for sure that nobody else got a hold of it who would have done something terrible to it, like painted all the woodwork white or ripped it up or multiple apartments, or who knows what could have happened to this place. So it was the right time. We found the right house, and we had to have the house.
Yeah, we had to. And then we looked at it in March 5th last year. It was the first time we looked at it. We didn't close on the house until September 17th. And through that whole 6 months, we never gave up on it. We were always focused on it making it work. So
it's mainly because I was trying to finish this place really quickly.
Yeah, and get the appraisal so that we could get the equity out of it to purchase that one. So let's see. Are you replacing all the fireplaces? Pink Floyd Flamingo says that green tile you recovered was amazing. Just the two in the front parlors. The other ones are all there intact.
Yeah, and I don't know if we're going to operational either.
Yeah,
because they were all originally built as coal-fired fireplaces, so that the flues in the chimneys are actually really tight and small, so they don't make great wood conversions. So I hear. Maybe I'm wrong about that. That's something I don't really know much about, but we're going to try.
Yeah, and if we're not able to convert any of them, I'm not opposed to like a gas situation. If you're not,
just let them hang out.
I mean, a nice fire is nice. Lisa B says, "Are you religious with the house being so old? Have you thought about blessing the house?" I'm not.
I'm not religious, but I wouldn't be against it if something was like really terrible.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt anything. We're not opposed to any type of religious stuff. But the only thing I would say is like not unless something bad happened, because if there is anybody there, I don't want to push them out. You know what I mean? We're fine with them being there if they're not.
If I'm just hearing footsteps here and there, whatever.
We're good. Do you think about gentrification issues if your house increases in price and starts a trend pricing residents out of the neighborhood, not your mom says?
Not necessarily, because there's not. I'd be more concerned with neighborhoods around that one than I would that neighborhood itself. Most of the buildings there are empty. Like there's not a whole lot. The NGA did displace some people, but even then, even with that giant lot of people, I think it was something like 30 families, and it's 100 acres.
Yeah, so that was
to put that
some
in
eminent
perspective,
domain.
This is 2 miles away from downtown St. Louis, and they pushed out 30 families for 100 acres. It might as well be the country. There's just not a lot of the neighborhood left.
Mm-hmm.
I think what'll happen is a lot of buildings will be saved from the bulldozer, but not by a lot. You'll have to build entire walls and sides of walls of buildings to save a lot of these. And the people who are on our street who are there right now, they own a few houses. And so what'll happen is the people who are on our block, a lot of them own their houses. They'll do really well with it. So no, I don't think that's a major issue with this neighborhood in particular.
Yeah, right.
Some of the other ones are different.
Yeah, definitely. I don't see a whole lot of apartment buildings and stuff like that. And even still, like in St. Louis, like rents have gone up. I got my first apartment in St. Louis in 2013, and our rent was like $500 for a 1-bedroom, and I think it's probably, well, they remodeled it now that after I moved out, but it might be like $700, $750 now. So rents are going up, not that crazy though, and that was like a really desired neighborhood. So I don't think that rents go up that high or go up that quickly here in St. Louis. So people are really into chippy t-shirts. Somebody said, Sherry Gore said, chippy newel post lamp. Make it happen. I love it. That's a great idea.
Maybe a chippy table lamp.
Philip Wilson says, "How my wife watches Jersey Shore. Those people can be truly awful." Definitely. So BB Frankie says that property, according to Zestimate, was valued $15,500 in 2015 and shows a 357% increase for 2019. That new NGA site must really be revitalizing the values there, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, more than anything, if you're going to talk about any kind of gentrification, that'll be the source. But simply put, there has to be more jobs in St. Louis, and so if there are more high-paying jobs in the area, it just sees everything brightens back up. So.
Let's see. Chippy is dying to have a t-shirt. River Walker says, if you find a really rare coin, you can use it to buy stuff.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
There's truth to that. Yeah,
Mark Wingard.
Sure.
Mark Wingard, you were the one in Kansas City, correct? Sorry, I forgot your name here. I was trying to go quickly. I have some period marble sinks with porcelain basins that are period to your home you may want. I'm not going to use them. Well,
yeah, potentially. Yeah, I mean, definitely hit me up on Instagram. It's just the Second Empire Strikes Back. You'll find me. Just shoot me a message over there.
A great show is restored, and I also hate how so many shows include just gutting the interior, even if the interior is in great condition for something that will be outdated in a couple of years. Joseph Perkovich said, "We agree." We agree.
I mean, if you lean into the age of the house, then you have something that in a lot of ways is timeless.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and like the houses in Lafayette Square that are also like Victorian Second Empire, it's pretty famous area. It has houses like ours. I used to clean houses when I was like 18 to like 20. So I've been in a couple of those over there, and they were remodeled in the 80s or 90s, and it's not cute. It's not cute. So I hate that. I hate it. I'm like, if you want a historic home. Or if you want to buy a historic home, please make it historical in at least some way. If you want a suburban home, please buy a suburban home. What type of wallpaper would the houses have? I've seen older houses with the linen type that's held up with little tacks. So that's how the wallpaper is, the linen in the second floor bathroom and actually the first floor bathroom. They both have like linen.
those are more modern. They're not.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Okay.
We should be starting to wrap this up here in the next 10 because I gotta go work.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, by the way, everybody. I just
started looking at me all crazy. I was like, "What's up?"
I just noticed that we're at 2 hours. It's a long time.
Yeah. River Walker says, "How's your foundation and how far are you from the river flooding?"
A long way from the river, and the foundation is dry as a bone.
Yeah, solid, very solid. And Liz, my coworker, had a question about this foundation. Where's the stone from? Probably the quarry that used to be across the street, right? Probably. There was a quarry over there where the NGA is going in right now. Are you familiar with Rogers Groups of Statuary, John Rogers, New York. No Victorian home was said to be complete without one. He produced them from the 1860s to 1890s.
What is he? John?
Rogers Groups of Statuaries. John Rogers, New York.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Joel Jones says y'all must be downtown, just north of there.
North.
A little bit west, just a little smidgen west. Do you like arts and crafts, William Morris design?
I do like arts and crafts a lot, but that's kind of why I'm going more east like you with a lot of things. Because it kind of works. It's kind of the predecessor to arts and crafts. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of arts and crafts.
Riverwalker, was your tile made in Italy? I've got some old green stuff. It was made.
No, it's made in the U.S.
Yeah,
It's
made in the US.
American Encaustic. I forget the name of the company. I have to look it up again.
Okay, yeah. Iceman says there's a YouTube channel called Mr. Man. He'll take you on a tour through the Campbell House. Yeah, we've been to the Campbell House. And Caleb is familiar and has been in contact with Mr. Man, I do believe.
Yeah, I actually really know Andy somewhat well. I'm gonna be over at the Campbell House tomorrow, but Andy will take me into the attic and to the basement and so show me all the systems and how they all work.
Yeah, so hopefully I can go tomorrow and he'll have free time to show me some stuff since I haven't seen all that extra stuff. What's your Instagram? Alicia Patterson says it's just the second Empire Strikes Back. Put a underscore below or in between each word.
Let me double check here to make sure I got this right.
Are you familiar with Bradbury website for wallpaper? Lots of cool stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Is it backwards? Oh yeah.
Oh, here, period. Put it in the comments. Thank you, period.
Oh, thank you.
So just type at the second Empire Strikes Back, just like that. But yeah, we are familiar with Bradbury and Bradbury. We do some looking on there. Caleb is kind of taking on more of like the design choices in the house than I am because I lean towards very Art Deco, so I'll look at that kind of stuff. And he's like, no, we need to look at the period correct stuff. All right.
Have to rein her in.
All right. Okay. Well, I've still got some questions for next time from my coworkers. I asked my coworker, I was like, do you guys have any questions that maybe, might not get asked in the Q&A tonight? And they were like, blah, 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 blah. So I was like,
They can
great
come ask
question.
this person. This is for these people.
Well, you guys
Hey,
might
this
want to
ain't
know
for
too.
Jen.
You guys, these are good questions. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I guess we can wrap it on up there. Yeah, that's about everything. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. As always, it's kind of amazing that you guys would take your time ever to come and sit and watch us two ding-dongs talk about our old house. But we really appreciate it. But yeah, thank you guys so much. It's awesome to see you guys all here, and we will see you guys again on Monday for another video.
Yeah.
Time-lapse inbound or whatever.
Yeah, we need a time-lapse inbound chippy shirt. So
yeah.
All right. Well,
see you guys
we'll
then.
See you.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, there we go.